Gentlemen, this is Dave with LoFiTrader. What do we do here? Well, we'd like to do live trading, live stock analysis, and live commentary. So if you are here for that, you came to the right place. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, because we will be here every Friday. I also bring out a stock market watch list, and I also put out some shorts out there for you. Make it fun, little short and editing. So let's just jump right into this. We got a big day. All right, so what do we have going on? Well, first, let's go look through the indices like we always do. And we're going to run through those. And then after that, we'll check out all the big tech, because that's what seems to be pretty darn hot in the market right now. Then I'll probably take a sip of coffee. And then we'll check up on our earners and see what's going on there. Of course, well, the main thing I'd like to do is check out what is going on with my trades, and then the chat. We'll check up on the chat. We'll make sure we get caught up with all of that. If you don't see something that I am looking at, or there is something I am looking at that you don't see, what I want you to do is let me know in the chat, and I'll be happy to take a little peeky gander at it. So let's start off by looking at the SPY, the S&P 500. So since the inception of this YouTube channel, you know that the S&P 500 has been beaten down and then beaten right back up. This 410 area is the key area that I've been keeping the eye on. We have been trading sideways now on a daily for quite some time, just above a curling to the north side 200-day moving average. If this SPY wants to continue to show its strength, what I'd like to see is this trend line holding. Yep, live right now, baby. Got a couple of friends texting me. Yeah, baby. All right, get rid of the phone there. So, SPY's trading above that 410 area. That's what we like to see. Above the 410, as long as it stays above that 410. Other than that, if it were to break down, it's held this double bottom at 403. We talked about this on one of my shorts, how as long as it's holding these new higher lows, we like to see that. This was the new higher low, then put in, and now we're seeing it hold with a double bottom at 403.84. So if it wants to keep up, if it wants to hold up, and it wants to continue to trade sideways, maybe this 408.99, this 409 is the new higher low, but I'm not ready to just accept that just yet. I still think we have some time, but trading sideways, building higher lows on the hourly, on the daily, this looks very healthy for the S&P 500. Now I know that there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of FUD, and to be bullish is not in the best interest for YouTubers or anybody creating content out there. Everybody wants to be so bearish. Everybody wants to, sweep the fact that we're holding these new higher lows under the rugs, and they're throwing the technical analysis out the window, and they're just listening to the fear and the FUD. Well, I'm here to tell you that I am risk on. I'm not going 100% or all in. I'm just kind of dipping my toe in the water. I have a few trades, and we will definitely go over them later. So the S&P 500 above the 200-day moving average, holding sideways, chilling right there at 413.61. Right now above its closing price of 412.13 for Thursday. Next up, we have the QQQ, the heavy weighted tech. The QQQ has been showing very big strength in the overall markets, trading at 326.66, just a few dimes above where it closed last night. It is well above a curling 200-day moving average. This thing is at its highs for the year. Since we landed our base in October, this thing has been on a nice tear to the north side. So can this thing hold up? Can we see these moves hold and then continue higher? That would be absolutely amazing to see. So QQQ is just trading above right there at 326.64. We're going to see if this thing wants to keep on keeping on. I do like to look at these. They're creating, bullish pennants. Now, if you look at the the weighted averages of some of these, they don't look as pushy like on the NASDAQ. It doesn't look like we're breaking out just yet. But I like to look at what it is. It is what it is, right? It is what it is till it ain't. The IWM, now this is your smaller caps. This is going to be the weakest because it holds a lot of your financial sectors. These financial sectors, guys, when you see these financial sectors and they take a huge hit like this, you're going to see it in the IWM. Now, if we bring up the financial sector, which actually I don't know if I've warmed this chart up yet, it's bringing it up right now, but we'll take a look at the financial sector and we will see right here, right now, XLF, if it's sitting on an area of support or not. Wow, why is this so big? There we go. All right, so here's XLF on the daily right here. And if we zoom out, I've showed you guys this before, the fact that we have the support at 31, right? Well, here we are into this area, and 31 is still holding that support. Now, it's not really giving huge pushes off that 31 area, but it is still holding above that key area of support. So even though we had this huge sell-off in XLF in the financial sector, we do have to understand that there's still a key area of support. Until that support gets broken, I'm still going to be just keeping an eye on this, basically. I think that this will have a lot to do with the market. If this thing does want to start taking off, let's say, the overall bank sector is doing well, it is holding up, and it starts to curl to the north side, it starts to actually show something forming up to head to the north side, I think that's going to bring the whole market up with it. So we'll see if it does or it doesn't. Let's see here. The NASDAQ. So this is what the IWM traders, the bigger growth stock, this is what they take a look at. This is what they like to see. They want to keep an eye on this. Why they use it so much? Well, that's actually a really good question. That's something I'm going to have to follow up on my own on that. That's good coffee. But it is breaking out here. And this is why we brought up the weighted indices. Because if you take out, or not so much take out, but if you equalize everything in the NASDAQ, meaning not using Apple, not using, the strength in a lot of our bigger tech inside of this, and you have an equally weighted average, you'll find out that we aren't getting the craziest push here, okay? It's kind of just trading sideways still in the 1300 area, 13,000 area, excuse me. So we're going to see how the NASDAQ wants to continue to hold. I would love to see this strength continue to hold, but we need to see some other sectors kind of warming up to this. So right now, it's just the healthcare and the tech is kind of taking off. Also, a lot of your EREs, like Wing, they're taking off. Like Chipotle, what is that, CMG? Yeah. How did I remember that? CMG. Chipotle on these earnings here too, after they broke up, we'll come back to this though. We'll come back to this. I want to make sure we get through all of these here. So the Dow Jones Industrial looks like it smacked right into that area of resistance. What area of resistance am I talking about? Well, this downtrend line. This downtrend line has held true for quite some time here. Every time it gets back up to that, we see a bit of a sell-off, but still holding above a curling 200-day moving average. That looks very strong, or maybe not, I shouldn't say strong, that looks very promising in the market, because I'm a bear with bullhorns. I like to see this market heading higher. That's what I want to see in general. I want to see your 401ks, your mutual funds, your Roth IRAs. I want to see it all heading to the north side. So that being said, anything above a 200-day moving average is going to be, in my eyes, positive. It's going to look good in my eyes. So next up we have, we're going to run through some of our big caps, our big tech stocks. Not our big caps, but they're big caps too, but our bigger tech stocks, okay? So Tesla right here in pre-market, it makes me want to grab a few shares short. Now these aren't buy or sell recommendations, guys. This is something I'm looking at, and I see some technical patterns coming across this. So if you look on the hourly, and we go back here, you can see there has been some price action in this area. What do I mean by that? Well, anytime it is hit this 176 area, you can see that it's bounced off of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times, almost 5, that it's bounced off that area. So if we zoom in now to see where we are sitting at, well, right here at 176. Okay, so looking at that, I would imagine that Tesla might have a tasty little pullback today. How far back, I do not know, but it does look like the range is in between 166 and 175. So if we were to try and take a silly little short there for Tesla, my profit area would be between 166 and 170. So that's just an idea there. Maybe I write that on the board as a short idea. So we'll say Tesla, short at 176, short at 176 area. Short sale 176. That is one idea for the day. So Netflix, if you guys want to take a little peeky gander here, I'll bring up the SPY on this side while we look at Netflix. So if we zoom in, we'll zoom out on Netflix. Understand that we are above a curling 200-day moving average and holding an upward trending line very, very nicely. So that being said, I did end up taking a trade on this when the price action got really tight on this 316. When it got really, really tight and it formed this pennant right here, it held a flat bottom, formed a pennant, then you could see it actually forming, if we zoom in even further, it was forming this uptrend line inside of its pennant. So I told myself when this breaks out that I'm going to get in. I've started to reduce my share size and widen my stop in order for things to work out a little bit better in this market. I feel like I'm a little late to that. I feel like I could have reduced share size and widened stops many months ago, and I think I would have been a heck of a lot better than where I'm at right now. So it's very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. So let me take a few peeky ganders at some things, and let's just see what's happening. Yeah, it's early, obviously. There's not a lot of people waking up with us this morning, but that's a-okay. If you're watching this pre-market prep at a later time, make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button so you can see these when they come out. Right on time, baby, right on time. So let's go ahead, just bring your attention to the screen really quick. Bring your attention to the screen. Make sure, well, first I need to make sure that I'm muted so that way you guys don't hear twicey of me. But make sure you click this live button. It'll bring you right up to the live section. And then if you scroll down, we have a poll that you can vote on. Be sure you vote on that poll. And then, of course, let's not forget, we want to make sure we hit this thumbs up button and that subscribe button, guys. So I appreciate you being here. And if I'm bringing you any enjoyment, any enjoyment, if you're learning anything at all, or if you just like to watch this entertaining, tasty trades, then just leave me that subscription. I want to be here for you just as much as I want you to be here for me, and I'm here every Friday, baby. So next up, let's take a, well, I'm going to finish up this Netflix. So absent-minded sometimes. So when this broke out, I took 25 shares to the long side, to the north side. And this is what happened here, guys. So I get in here, I hold on to this, and I hold through all of this crap. Well, now we push all the way up into this area, 345.62. Well, I took off half at that yellow mark. And if you zoom out, you can see why, okay? This is our peak. We've already sold this off once, twice, okay, twicey. So that tells me, you know, not that this thing's going to go all the way back down to zero, but this tells me that we're going to see some pullback here, okay? Now, if we see some pullback and we get more than just some pullback and it comes all the way down to where I bought it in at, well, that last half, I'm going to break for break even, or I will stop out for break even, okay? So that being said, I've already taken my profits. I've already made a little over $250 this morning, okay? That is just a trade that I've took 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. So Monday, I took this trade here, okay? And then bada bing, bada boom. You know, on this breakout, you just hold and you just you're looking for key areas of support to get broke. So it made a new higher low. It came down, it double bottomed or close to it. Actually made a new higher low. The next day it did the same thing, and then it ramped off. It took off, and now because we're at this area of resistance in this 345, 350 area, I've decided to take half off my shares. So I take off half here, we lock in some of our profits, and we're still up another $250 on our last half of this trade. So we've locked in 250, we're still holding on to 250, and we're gonna see where this market wants to take us. So as you guys know, I'm very transparent. I'm here to let you know the trading is not easy. It's not easy at all. It's actually extremely hard, especially if you're new to this. If you're new to trading, you will learn very quick that the market seems to do the things to get you in, and it just goes the opposite way. It's almost funny. There's a lot of jokes, there's a lot of memes out there about it, but it's just natural. I mean, that's the smart money taking the dumb money, and it's simple as that. If you start realizing that you need to start using risk management, you just need to start finding support and demand areas, or supply and demand areas, support and resistance areas, whatever you want to call them. Either way, it's all the same thing. Okay, and after you learn these things, and you start learning these things, you'll start trusting your trades more and more and more. Okay, and I say that out loud. I'm almost preaching to the choir. Guys. You know, it's so easy for me to say, it's so hard to do from time to time. Now, we all want to act like we're some disciplinary, stone cold rock traders, but we're not. Even the best traders out there have their flaws, and I know for a fact, because I have read the books, I have listened to the stories, I have listened to the interviews, I have combed over and read the books necessary to know what these traders have went through. And all traders go through the same similar thing. The ones that don't make it, or the ones that quit. So, depending on how you are, when I see something that is hard, I go head first into it, and this I've went all in on. But you know, there's a lot of other things out there that are extremely hard to do, that I take a liking to, but this has to be one of the hardest and one of the funnest. Imagine if it was easy. You know, if it was easy, then everybody can make money off this, and if everybody can make money, then it wouldn't be fun. It really wouldn't be fun. So I'm glad that the market's hard. I'm glad it's tough, because once I learn and I understand how the market is set, there will be no more dumb money. It'll be smart money taking the dumb money. So we're going to keep on keeping on, guys. We're up $250 so far this morning. We're up another $250, so technically we're up about $500 right now, but because I didn't lock in that last half, we're just going to say we've locked in the $250. We're happy with where we're sitting, and now we're just kind of sitting back, kicking our feet up, and enjoying the market open. So it's 8:17 right now. We still have plenty of time before we have to open. So let's keep on keeping on. So Amazon, AMZN, looking really nice here. I do like AMZN above $100, and now I can finally say it, above a 200-day moving average. We like to see these 200-day moving averages definitely staying above. If they're above, that's when I can start looking to take some longs. But obviously, guys, with the overall market conditions, make sure if you are taking any trades, make sure you're using risk management in mind. That's going to save your butt. That's what's going to keep you being able to come back to the market every day. I don't like to hold. I do not like to buy and hold on to things if they're going against me. Okay? I like to buy and hold as long as they're making me money. But if they're going against me, I'm not going to average into it. I'm not going to keep on piling money into one specific share. Now, an ETF, that's totally different story. Totally different story. If we're talking about a mutual fund or an ETF or something like that, well, then, yeah, I dollar cost average into VOO and VTI, and I might be adding a few more to that. But as of right now, it's just where it sits. Meta, good old Meta. It likes to just dance to its own drum. When the market's flaring, sometimes it's sitting back and relaxing. Well, look at Meta, though. This thing has been an absolute earner, huge runner. This thing is just absolutely beautiful here in this area. Still looks like it wants to hold this 30-day moving average. So anytime it's came down to that 30-day, it's bounced off it pretty hard, 174. It's bounced off it again around this 207. So right now, to me, knowing that that 30-day moving average is its area of support, at least it has been for quite some time. This is still a little extended. I'd like to see the 30-day catch up to it, or it catch up to the 30-day before actually looking for a swing long on that. But on the daily, if you look, this right here looks like an area of resistance. Okay, it used to be an area of support. It bounced off two times on the hourly, and now it's running into that same area. It's bumped its head once and it repelled but held new higher lows, bumped its head again and held new higher lows. So this actually looks pretty strong. If it can actually break back into this area that it was in before, in this 240 area on volume, that's going to look very strong for Meta today. So maybe something I want to keep my alerts and my eyes on for the very, very near future. Where is everybody? Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here watching me now, congratulations, you're here for the pre-market prep. Some people don't like to get up this early. I was up every day. Every day I'm up very, very early because I like to watch the market open. So I want you to start watching the market open with me. Be here at 8 a.m. It's super easy. We can watch this thing work together. So right now it's 8:20. We have a little bit more than an hour before the market opens. So what are we doing? We're running through the indices. We got through that. Now we're going through big tech, and we'll go through some of my trades and some of the trade ideas we're going to pick up from this. So Meta in this area, if Meta can break, let's just say if Meta can break this 238 area, Meta long, let's do Meta long idea at let's say 238. These are just ideas, just things I'm writing up on the board. That way I know for when the alerts hit, when things start popping off, what I had intended. Because when things start to get crazy and I start to get yapping, things will happen, and then I'm going to beat myself up because I wasn't paying good enough attention. Apple, delicious and nutritious. Look at this thing. Well, I guess we got to get through NVDA. We'll get through NVDA, then we'll talk about Apple. We don't want to skip anybody. We don't want Apple's feelings to get hurt. All right, guys, so look at NVIDIA. So if you look at NVIDIA, it looks like this holding this new area of support at 284. I do want to see 284 hold. We also have the support right there at 280. So 280 is your main area of support. We're going to see, does this thing want to come right back down and test that 280? That would be very interesting if it did. And if it did, I do have my alert set because I think 280 being very good, very good support. I would love to see it bouncing off that 280 area. So the alert is set. NVIDIA being clearly a big leader. Just been trading sideways for quite a few weeks now. It's a good trader if you're a range trader. It was a great trader for you last week and the week before. But now it looks like it's trying to break out of that range a little bit. We're going to see if it has enough volume and if the market wants to continue to the north side with that. AAPL, delicious and nutritious. That's some good coffee. This is the Silly Sips coffee today, guys. Silly Sips, elated Ethiopian, actually. Look at this bag. Elated Ethiopian. I like it. It's good. It's got like chocolate notes in it. It's a light roast, fruity notes of milk, chocolate, and caramel. I don't taste the caramel, but I do like the milk chocolate. You can almost smell it, like when you open up the bag. It's so interesting because you get that. It's clearly coffee. Then you get a good whiff and you smell chocolate. It makes your mouth salivate a little bit. So that Google is now at 116.57, finally breaking out of this area. And I was talking about Google breaking out of this area, and I completely took my mind off this. This is just one of those things, guys. When you're looking at this, you're keeping an eye on Google, and you don't have an alert set, or it does alert you, but you're at work or you're doing something, so you're like, I'll get to it later. And then this happens. Not just happens, but it happens on volume. So it shows me that this is true strength in the market. So Google, wow, what a nice push. So, they had earnings, and after after their earnings, they had this huge talk, and it was like every 30 seconds they would use the word AI, because I believe, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I believe the sentiment in the market for Google right now is that, is Google going to be able to keep up with Apple AI, with NVIDIA's AI, with all these big tech industries, Meta's AI, Amazon's, like everybody's has the buzzword for AI. The question is who's going to come out on top? So because Google didn't come out with so much news talking about their AI, they went above and beyond recently, and they they really pumped up the word AI in their stock. So we'll see if that's going to keep on helping Google, because that push right there, you know, Google only moves about 2.5% in one day. And if you look at this move, it's moved 8%, you know, in a matter of 2 days. So that's a pretty big push, guys. I really like to see that. Heck, that's not even in 2 days. That's in 1 day. So I'll grab my phone here. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at Riot. Now I'm not too excited about Riot, but I do like it down here at this base. It's holding this area of 1016, but I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while, so that's why I say that. So let's go ahead and bring up Bitcoin and just take a little peeky gander and see where we are sitting. So if we look at the price of Bitcoin, it does look like we are starting to break down this area a little bit. This breakdown of this area of support at 513 might be a little treacherous. We might see a bigger pullback than I had anticipated. I would like to see it hold this area. We knew we were going to get some resistance in this area, but it was holding up so nicely in this area. I didn't think we were going to pull away from this, but it does look like we are starting to pull away from it a little bit. Now, if you look, I did point out to you that its volume, or its anchored VWAP off the top, was right here. And as you can see, we smacked right into it. Its next low of VWAP is 442.93 down here, this area. So if it wants to hold out, if it wants to continue to break down, I think it'll hold out here in this area. If it doesn't, we do have an uptrend line down here that we could extend. You know, if it wants to continue its reach to the south side, it still has an area to bounce. And if we zoom out even further, guys, it's still holding trend, okay? So don't get too caught up in these little washes here, you know, these 10 billion. I know it sounds crazy, but these $10 billion washes, don't get too caught up in that, guys, because we still are holding a beautiful uptrend for Bitcoin, okay? So when I see Riot in these areas, yes, it makes me want to take a long. It makes me speculate, makes you want to speculate more on this. But I'm not going to take this trade. I want to see, you know, I want to see more of like this area, like one of these breakouts, you know. But you know, I'm going to keep an eye on it. We'll see how it works out. Now, I like keeping an eye on Snap because holy crap, this thing snapped way down. I still use Snapchat. I don't know how many people actually use Snapchat. I still use Snapchat. You know, I still think it's relevant, but the question is it going to make money? Because it's barely creeping by with this money. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, because if Snap starts to see some like accumulation growing in this at these lows, I'm definitely gonna, I want to ride those shoulders of those giants. So keep an eye on that. So SMH is your semiconductor ETF, and it looks like it's just trading sideways. It looks just like NVIDIA. So let's go ahead and bring up the volatility index, the VIXI, the VIX. It's at lows here at 1675. So kind of a lull, boring morning so far. But remember, at these lows, guys, these can really ramp up. They can really take off, and they can get very volatile very quick. Your dollar is ramping up this morning to 102.282. That being said, keep in mind that we have its resistance right overhead at 102.61. One thing I do want to look at is Disney. Disney looked like it broke its support and headed lower, much lower, at 92.58 right now for Disney. I want to keep an eye on Disney at these lows because I would like to pick up some of this down here. Disney, I do believe in Disney. I do like Disney, but below a 200-day moving average, it's kind of hurt. Kind of would hurt me to try and play it down here now. So I want to see it shape up before I do anything silly. And of course, we got to take a look at CRISPR, because I got a couple of friends out there that are playing CRISPR to the north side, and it's a beautiful thing. It looks like CRISPR is really, this is Casper, not CRISPR, so I don't even know why that's up there. Let's click on CRISP. There we go. That looks like the chart. That could have been really bad. But yeah, so this is CRISP, CRSP, CRISPR Therapeutics. They do the gene slicing and all that stuff. Well, they're above a 200-day moving average now, so I'd like to see them digest this move. So they came out with their earnings. Their earnings were a lot better than expected by about $1. Now they're still not, they're not earning money. They're still doing their best to lower for Disney. Good, I just gave them way too much. Yeah, welcome back, brother. I hope you had fun there at Disney. But yeah, they, you know, Disney, when they came out with their earnings, they took a huge hit. And, you know, I've been watching the news a little bit just because it's in front of my face at my job. And, you know, they're having that, you know, the governor, you know, is having issues with Disney. Disney doesn't want to pay their taxes. You know, there's just this huge argument there with Disney. There's a lot of crap going on. So when I see something break down this big, this fast, I want to see it digest first. Because we don't have any key areas of support right here. Now down here at this $90 area, there's a little bit more support down here. So it might be reputable to take a few shares, but these aren't buy or sell recommendations, guys. I want to see some areas line up so that we have proper risk management. Yeah, I would absolutely love to see Disney form up here. But yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive, Brad, to get out there and take care of all of that. So, all right, so let's go back to our Tesla idea here, right here at this resistance. I do like Tesla for a short in this area, but these are my thoughts. These are my ideas. They are not yours. So I'm probably going to be waiting till that market open to take a short on Tesla for a day trade, guys. Keep in mind that that is a day trade. If you're looking for a swing trade, we can go through a few of my trades right now. As we talked about NFLIX, we took NFLIX back here, what day was this? The 8th, okay? So on the 8th, we seen on the morning, it broke out of this technical pattern. We knew we were messing with an uptrend in tech. So we know 1, it's a hot sector. 2, it's above a 200-day moving average. And 3, it is breaking out of a base and pennant formation, okay? So when it broke out of that base pennant formation, we took our shares. Now, because this market is so dang crazy, guys, I only took 25 shares. Of course, I wanted to take 100 shares, but with the way the market is, it's been shaking me out, and it's been doing what I've asked it to, okay, or what I've expected it to. So if it's shaking me out but still doing what I expect it to, that tells me 2 things. 1, my risk management, it needs to change. It needs to be wider, okay? I need to take less risk or less shares for this same example, less shares, and I need to increase my stops. So that's exactly what I did for Netflix. And of course, it didn't even look back. It didn't even slow down. But we kept this wide. We let the play work. And now at its highs here, you can see that we have an area of resistance just above this, right around this 350 area. So we have 347 all the way to 350. This is going to be an area of resistance. I can even draw it out for you just like this. So you can understand why I took half of my shares off right here. So it made it to my profit target. Now there's a few things I can do. I can bring my stop loss up to either break even, or I can bring my stop loss up to just under this 329 area, because we know if it breaks down that, we might not see this thing come back. So that is to be determined. I have a few days to think about that, to digest that, and to understand what I want to do with this trade. But right now, what I do know is this. I made a trade, I've extrapolated half of my profits, and I'm letting the rest ride. That makes me comfortable in this situation, so that way I don't sell on pullbacks, and as it pushes higher, I already know that I've taken my money out of this trade. So next up we have ON. We need to bring up my my trades. Okay, let's take a look at DraftKings, because DraftKings is not too popular on my setup list. I played an earnings gap up on this. I am risking this base. This is a $100 risk, guys. I have been playing DraftKings down here. I've been in and out of it multiple times. We've made some money. We've lost some money. Overall, we are up on DraftKings. But this is a new trade, guys. So why do I preface it that way? Well, simply put, we don't want to worry about what happened before. We want to focus on what's happening right now. So DraftKings. DraftKings is sitting in this area. So I just want to take a look at this. DraftKings is sitting in this area, just trading sideways now, okay? We know we have an area of support around this $24, and that's where it's sitting. That's exactly where it's trading. So if it doesn't hold the support, you know, maybe I do risk, or I do get half of my shares out, so I don't take such a big stop loss. But looking at this thing kind of just trading sideways, holding these areas, I do want to make sure I give it the time it needs to carry on Wayward Sun. It's trading above a 200-day moving average. It's still above its 10-day moving average, so it's still pretty extended. And some might ask, well, why? If it's extended, why did you take this trade? Well, it's really simple. I have an earnings gap up play that I like to play, and it's using a 5-minute, 1-minute, and sometimes an hourly, depending on where I find the trade. So I played this on a 5-minute breakout. Okay, when it broke out of this area, I got in risking its base. Okay, so that's exactly how I played this, and I want to see to it. So we've been through a lot of volatility. It does look like it's on a downtrend. So hopefully, and I say that respectfully, hopefully we can break out through to the north side. Now, I want to look at a few small caps here. DRMA. DRMA does look like it's holding this area, this base around 175. It broke out to the north side in pre-market. Now we're seeing wicking off at the top, which is going to be normal because we have areas of key resistance right here. Okay, so I don't expect this thing to hold up. I do expect it to fail, but these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just a big talking chin on your YouTube. So guys, if I could advert your attention, go ahead, just take a look at the screen. I know we're all watching all at the same time, but if we scroll down here, we click this live button, it'll bring you right up to this live trading event. And then of course, if you scroll down, what I want you to do, if you'll be so kind, smash this like button, guys. Smash this like button. We're always doing our best to get this like count up as high as we can. And of course, guys, if I'm bringing you any value or any kind of entertainment to your life, leave me a subscription. It's absolutely free, and you can take it back like an Indian giver that you might be at any given time. So hit that subscribe button, guys. Do me a favor. It'll help this channel grow even quicker than it already is. So let's take a look at our... So nothing too crazy going off in the small caps. SPRY, pharmaceuticals, looks like it's rip-roaring as well. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on there. Let's go ahead and look at some of my swings. Oh yeah, RBLX, yeah, I had to get out of it. So I shorted RBLX towards the end of the day, which if you guys don't know, if you're taking shorts, right? If you're taking shorts or longs, you want to do it and take it in a key area during a volatile time in the day, right? So if you're not taking these trades during a volatile time, you might be stuck in a lull. What do I mean by that? Well, you get in and you short a trade like I did in Roblox towards the end of the day like this, and then it just trades sideways, and then you're stuck in this during the pre-market the next day. You don't know what market open's going to look like. There's a lot of different things that could happen here while your eyes aren't on it. So it's not smart to play that. So I'm pointing myself out here that I took this short a little premature. Well, when I woke up this morning and we didn't see a big drop, we didn't see anything do anything, and it was just trading here, I took my $7 and I got out of this trade. Okay, now what I do expect this is for it to pop back up in this area, and if we get anywhere close to this 40.93 area, I want to get in short. I do like the fact that it popped all the way up here to this 41.75 area. I've had this marked out multiple times. It's a huge area of price action. And now that we hit that yesterday and failed, I'd like to see another push up to get up into that area and around 40.93. And I'd like to try and take that short again. So I don't want to hold on to this thing during market open. While I have 100 shares short, I decided to get out for a small win, so that way when the market does open, I can play off key areas of support or resistance, so that way we can have a better area in the trade. Now, if this thing wants to just fall right at market open and just completely tank, of course, I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be a little hurt over it, but hey, it's a-okay. There's going to be more trades ahead, and we're not going to let fear of missing out get into our heads. Airbnb, that's just another little idea I was having because it's holding this 200-day moving average pretty well. Trading at 111.35. If it can hold out in this area, I think that would be very, very nice for Airbnb. We can see that we had a large push of volume here. Oh, excuse me. It looks like they beat their earnings. They beat their earnings, but I think what ended up happening was their forecast was not nearly as reputable as they wanted to. So they didn't have a good forecast, which is a-okay, as long as they stay true to their nature. So hopefully this continued to be a growth stock, but personally, I don't believe in Airbnb. I really don't. That bias that I'm speaking right now doesn't have anything to do with the trade. I'm not trading it, but it's definitely just an idea. Because I'd like to see Airbnb take off here, but I don't believe in it. So we still got Netflix, we got DraftKings, we have ON, by the way. We have ON on here as a trade. And funny thing with ON, I only took 25 shares of this, and you can see where I took it. I made this green mark for you. Let me zoom out on the hourly. This green mark, this is where I ended up taking it because of this breakout. So if we zoom out even further, you can see this huge pennant right here. Huge pennant, right? And if this pennant actually wants to take off to the north side, that would be absolutely scrumptious. But the question is, can it? Now it's holding this 10-day moving average. It's above a 10, 20, and 30-day moving average. Of course, above a 200-day moving average and breaking to the north side out on this pennant. My question is, will we see continuation? Because with all the push that we've already gotten right here in the semiconductors, are we going to continue to see that push? If we want to continue to see that push, we're going to see it push here. If not, this thing might come right back down and retest that trend line that I drew out weeks ago for you. Okay, so that's ON. That's just another one that I'm in. HEAR, I've been watching people accumulate shares of this at this bottom here. And so I wanted to get into this thing. Now, when it came out with the earnings, it's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy is going on for the earnings. So it looks like we got a pretty big sell-off here with a lot of volume. So that being said, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on this thing because I seen, volume start to accumulate here. Then we had a pullback. I want to watch this digest this information right here on top of this 30-day moving average. If it wants to hold there, that might be a nice long idea to the north side, but that 200-day moving average, it just broke above, and it's not curling to the north side just yet. So yeah, so we have our two ideas so far are Tesla and Meta. So let's go back to Tesla and see where it's sitting. So Tesla's sitting right in that area where we would want to take a short. Key area of resistance right there. Now, is it going to break down from here? Well, the last time it broke through this, it was in the aftermarket. It doesn't look like it held at all breaking through that. Now, pre-market and aftermarket are two totally different beasts. They're not two totally different beasts, but they are a totally different beast than actually playing the market when it is open. Okay, because there's a lot of gaps. There's not a lot of liquidity. You might get a fill, and then it just fails because people are stepping over each other to sell, and it's 10, 20. Sometimes $1, sometimes $10 of range, and that will really change the prices up there. All right, So Tesla also on the 1 hour is overbought as well. I don't know if that means much to you. Sometimes I just like to take a look at it. But on the daily it looks fine. So that's just one idea, is that Tesla short. And then we have Meta. That looks like it's in an area of resistance, but if it can hold this area and push higher, it looks like this might be a nice long back up here to 240. So not too much room to work with there. That's not the best trade. AMZN. Very interesting. Very interesting in this area. Yeah, baby. All right, guys, we'll take a quick. If you want, go ahead and look at my screen. Make sure that you are caught up on the live section. Scroll on down here, smash that like button, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for joining me, whether it's right now during the live session or just a few hours later after I uploaded. Either way, I do appreciate your time, and I appreciate you being here with me. So cheers to you. This one's for you, not for me. I got the snowman cup. I think I have, my ratio for my coffee cups is like 2 Christmas cups to every 1 regular cup, I think. You know, I think we got more Christmas cups in there than anything. Which I'm fine with, because then when Christmas comes around, we are very festive. Let's see here. What else we got here? Let's see. X-Had Lo-Fi. You don't think Tesla might push higher because of the news? Elon stepped down from Twitter and higher prices for their cars. X-Had, if you are listening right now, I don't pay too much attention to the overall Tesla news. Let's bring up Tesla here. Let's talk about Tesla for a little bit. Now, all right, so let's go over Tesla. All right, so my buddy X-Had, he's in this Discord that I'm in, and the LoFiTrader, which is awesome Discord, by the way. And he asks, you don't think Tesla might push higher because of the news? Elon stepped down from Twitter and higher prices for their cars. So, yes, no, I think that is great news. I think that's very, very good news. The fact that he is going to step down from Twitter, he can focus more time on Tesla. All that stuff is very, very bullish news. The only thing that I'm looking at, X-Had, is the fact that we are into an area of resistance. Now, I'm not saying that this area of resistance that we're running into is going to make Tesla go back down to its lows. What I'm saying is we're in an area of resistance, and if it pulls back, I would like to know where it's going to pull back to. So I think this could be a range trade, meaning if it were to break down from this area from here, then it'll find support at 166.80, okay? Now, I think that if we break out from here, I think we can easily come all the way up and retest this 185, okay? So I really like this area, this 175. I think if it breaks out of 175, that we're definitely going to go check 180. And then, our next stop is 185 and then 200. So I like it, but when I'm looking at this on a technical basis on the hourly, we are running into an area of resistance from back here. Okay, 176.22, that's what I have marked out for you. So this is just a trade idea. It's not something that I'm going all into. I'm going to wait till the market open to see how it works out, see how the trade plays out. But yes, those are all bullish news, bullish things on the news. And I think, yeah, it definitely could push higher. But when I look at it just on a technical analysis standpoint, this is an area of resistance. So I'm expecting some type of stutter, some type of shake, maybe just a little bit of a pullback, maybe down into this 170 area, finding support and then heading higher. That would be nice too, but we will see. Time will tell. Malik Graves says, if Tesla breaks 180, it's going to 200. And I like that idea too. I do like that idea just because 200 is very psychological, very, very discerning area of resistance. Okay, and we were trading that for quite some time. So I'm sure we want to push up to that regardless. So it's creating a nice uptrend here off of its bottom. You know, it's looking really, really good, but now it's forming this top up here. So we need to see it break out. We need to see it get up above that, that's for sure. All right, let's see how Netflix is doing. We already got half out of Netflix, guys. We got in here at this breakout. We got half out here at this top because of this is an area of supply. So I don't want to hold all my money in there. You know, part of me wants to get all out of Netflix, but I'm trying to hold for the bigger move. So we will see if that bigger move is the right thing to do. But either way, we've made our money off of that. We're going to see if we can continue to make money today. So what are you guys watching? Let me know in the chat if there's something that you want me to take a little peeky gander at that I haven't already looked at, or if you just need me to go over it again, I will be happy to. We have about 40 minutes until the market opens. 40 minutes till the market opens, guys. I am pumped, and I hope you are too. Let's see, ONON. So we've been watching ONON for quite some time. Yeah, absolutely, X-Head. I appreciate you popping in and saying hi, brother. So ONON right here, we have this beautiful uptrend. It's been holding for quite some time. Oh, what's this green area down here? Oh, that would have been a range breakout trade or a earnings gap up trade, however you want to call it. But we didn't take it because I was not in front of the computer when we were here for it. But ONON continues to be a mover, continues to show strength, and it also has earnings coming up. So be careful of that. On the 16th, the earnings is going to be coming out for ONON. Airbnb, we've already looked over. We'll just go over it one more time. Sitting on a 200 curling 200-day moving average after a big sell-off on earnings. Even though it beat expected earnings, its guidance was lower. So that being said, we need to see it digest this information above a 200-day moving average still looking pretty solid. Next up is DraftKings. So DraftKings looks like it is just trading sideways here. I need to see this thing do something. It needs to be above that $23 area in order for me to keep on keeping on. Got a question here about PayPal. Well, let's bring up PayPal, PYPL, and the question is, what's your take on PayPal? Seems it might have bottomed. It was oversold on every time frame. You know, I'm really happy you brought up XHOD. I was looking at PayPal and I drew this trend line out right here at the 71.64 because it just had traded this sideways for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? And when it broke this area, I knew we were going to see something crazy happen. So it did break and it headed lower. And on these big moves lower like this, I need more time. And I hate to say that. It almost seems like a cop-out for me to say that. But you got to understand that when we have these huge moves like this, now you can be one of those guys, you can play off these panic bottoms and you can buy up these lows, but that's not the way I do it. I need to see days or weeks of consolidation so that way I have an area of resistance and support, okay? So I'd like to find an example. Like, look at DraftKings here. So DraftKings gets this big push. That's a bad idea because it's not trading sideways. But let's put it this way. After we trade sideways like this and it picks a direction, whether that's up or down, you need to give that move some time to digest, okay? So this move needs some time. I think that if you think that it's bottomed here, then what we would do is we would draw this line right here, and when we have a double bottom at $63, and then what we can do is we can come revisit this in the next couple of days. If it trades sideways for 3 or 4 days above this $63 area, then what I would say is, yeah, maybe we can start dollar cost averaging into this using that area as our resistance or as our stop, okay? As our support or as our stop. Now, it doesn't have to be a hard stop, but you do want to keep yourself from losing any more money than you need to. So that's my take on PayPal. I do like PayPal. I think it does have a great, it's very beneficial. I think your things like Venmo and things like that are a little bit more popular. Cash App, stuff like that, I think it's a little bit more popular than PayPal. And I think PayPal may have a little work to do because a few reasons. One, it's under a 200-day moving average. Okay, so I don't like that. If it's under a 200-day moving average, I wouldn't want to touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Okay. On top of that too, right here are our COVID lows. Okay, it's below the COVID lows. There's not a lot of stocks out there that are below the COVID lows. Okay, if it's below the COVID lows, I don't want to even look at this thing at all. So that's just my take. It might not be the same as yours, and you could be very right. We could have bottomed. But personally, I cannot find conviction in that play just because I need more time on my hourly and I need more time on my daily. So I hope that helps. I hope that solidify any of the questions that you maybe had on that X-Had. And I do appreciate the questions, brother. So keep them coming. B. Stewie says, morning all, get that money, Lo-Fi. Yeah, baby. We actually have already taken out over $250 out of this market this morning. Now, that was a trade that I took about 4 days ago. So on Monday, I took this trade and I've held on to it to today. We've taken half out of that trade on NFLIX. We've already taken half out because we're in an area of resistance. So I do hope that we can continue higher, and I say hope respectfully because I expect it to have a pullback, showing us a new higher low, maybe showing us that this 330 is its new area of support. And if it does that and wants to head higher, that's going to be absolutely beautiful for the market. But yeah, X-Had, I just use technical analysis. I don't usually take any of the news into consideration, simply because I think the news, especially in this point in time in the market where the market's been so beaten down, the news isn't going to have a huge effect on a lot of these beaten down stocks. Now, if it does, don't get me wrong, if it does, you're going to see it. It's going to be very actionable, but even after that news comes out, it's either going to be priced in already, or after that news comes out, I'm still going to want to wait to see how the information gets digested. Okay? Now, if it breaks out with news and on earnings, I might be able to take a range breakout for that, like an episodic pivot. Okay? If there was an episodic pivot on news, that's totally different. If it gaps up on news over 10%, and then at the market open, that's when I will probably be looking to take a range breakout. But it has to be some pretty crazy news. Now, if you look at like Tesla, that news about Elon Musk and stepping down from Twitter so he can and then he'll be able to focus more on his current endeavors, Tesla, I think it's great news. I think it's very, very bullish, but I think if it was very bullish news, like if it was actually news that I would want to concern myself with, we would have seen this thing gap up 10%, which would be very abnormal, obviously, for Tesla. But that's when I would look at it, and that's when I would read that news, and I would say, wow, that's amazing. Now, if you can get them all to line up, if you can get your technicals to line up with the news and your news to line up with the fundamentals, that is when you become a GOD at trading. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. Just because I'm not doing it doesn't mean that's not formidable or something that you should practice. Make sure that I'm seeing some emotes come across there. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that in the chat. But good morning, guys. If you don't know, my name is LoFiTrader. Actually, it's Dave, but you can call me Lo-Fi. Either way, what I would like you to do is just go ahead and avert your attention to the screen really quick. I just want to show you that there is a live button right here. If you go ahead and click that live button, it'll bring you right up to where we are at currently. And then if you scroll down here, guys, there is a poll. We only got 5 votes so far. Let's get those numbers up, baby. What are you expecting? Will this be a bear or bull market for the rest of the year? Meaning, will we end up on a neutral or a higher price or a lower price than by the end of the year, okay? And then scroll down, smash this like button right here, guys. Give it a good old smashing, and then click that subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. We do appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. I want to be here for you just as much as I want you to be here for me. So let me take a quick sip, and then we have a question. What happened with the CPI data? Oh, that's good coffee, guys. That is good coffee. So let me go to the economic calendar, and I will read you this CPI report from, let's see, I don't know, actually I'm not sure if I know how to go back. Let's see, that's this week, so CPI year over year, right here it is at 8:30 Wednesday, May 10th. So do you want the core? Do you want the year over year? So the year over year came out at 4.9%, which was lower than expected. All right, so that is a great sign. That means that the consumer price index for the year over year is coming down. Now the month over the month was as expected, 0.4%. So it hasn't went up or down from the previous month. So the CPI year over year came out as expected or better than expected for the year over year, B. Stewie. This is what I have in front of me right here, so that way you can see. And the CPI is your consumer's price index, guys. Your consumer's price index is what we pay for goods, and PPI is wow. Producer. I couldn't think of the name producer. I kept wanting to say, I won't even tell you. Producer price index. That's how much the average change in the time and selling prices received by domestic producers and their output. Okay, so the CPI consumer price index looked about the same, and not the same, but as estimated. So it came out just as it should, and it looked good, so I was pretty happy with it. It looked like it took very well in the overall market. Looked good. So let me just check up on my chats here, make sure we're all caught up on everything, guys. Awesome. Yeah, things are looking really, really good today. Very, very happy with what's going on in the overall market, holding those new higher lows, guys. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Netflix is finally getting that curl back down to the south side, just as we expected. That's why we took off half of our shares here at the top. Let's see, Tesla, are we going to see that curl? So this is my idea here, guys. Not saying we're going to hold true to this, but I think Tesla has a pullback day to stick inside of this range. I'd like to take a few shares out to help combatant exactly what I'm saying, and we might actually take, I think we might just go ahead and we'll just take 10 shares, just a starter position in this area, just because we want to make sure that we have a little bit vested. I want a little bit of mental capacity. I want some of my mental focused on this trade, and I know I won't have it if I don't have any money in it. So we're gonna go ahead and bring that down here. Don't worry about Goose on that. There's Tesla. We need to get rid of NVDA. We need to get rid of here. I'm cleaning up my list here, guys. I want to make sure whatever I have on my list I'm actually playing, that I'm actually in, and it's not just on here, okay? And we're going to leave Roblox on here because that is another big trade idea for myself. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, now you know. My name is Dave. This is LoFiTrader, and we are going through our pre-market prep today. What does that mean? Well, we go through all the indices. So we'll start with the SPY. We'll run through QQQ, IWM, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones. Then we'll check out our bigger tech earnings, not our tech earnings, but our bigger tech. We're going to see what big tech is doing right here, right now, because it is the leader, if you haven't noticed. And then we're going to check on our earnings to see what has came out, what is gapping up over 10%, and if there's any trades to be made in that. B. Stewie, you're welcome for the info. Absolutely, brother. Happy you're here and happy I can be here for you. So it looks like the SPY is in an area of resistance. Why do I know? Well, look at this on the hourly. That hourly resistance, it's constantly coming up and it's constantly smacking its head right in this area of 414. So I do expect a pullback of this area. We're going to see what it wants to do. So now it's trading at 413.35. Does it want to get back up into this area of 414, 415 area before heading lower? We will see. But we know that that 410 area, what a crazy area of price action that is. We also have this double top on the bottom. So there's a lot of crazy things happening in the market. Very, very interesting to see what is actually going to go down this morning. Next up is the QQQs, all the way up here at 326.60 at the highs. So what are we expecting here, guys? Are we expecting this thing to break out or break down? That's the real question. Maybe this thing trades sideways to get more people in it. But regardless, I think we're a little overly extended. We are a little extended from the 10 and 20-day moving average as well, but that doesn't mean crap when you get a strong market. So we need to keep an eye on the QQQs to see what wants to happen here. And I think we can get a better understanding of which direction this might head if we continue down this list once we start looking at our bigger tech indices, our bigger tech earners. So IWM now is at 173.58. This thing is just kind of trading sideways, treading in this dark area down here at its lows. Its new highest low is 168.94, trading at 173.58. It needs to hold these areas. With it being in the financial sector, guys, you know for a fact it can be pretty rough in the financial sector. So if you're in the financial sector and this went down, you know for a fact that IWM is also going to go down. So the NASDAQ, guys, the NASDAQ looked like it broke out here. It's breaking out of that 1300 area, wanting to head higher. That can be very, very nice. But if the overall big tech doesn't hold up, then the NASDAQ is going to need something else to hold it up, because that's what's been holding it up this whole time so far. Dow Jones Industrial. So the Dow Jones Industrial is running right into that downward trend line I pointed out for you guys a while back. So keep that in mind. We do have a lot of things running into resistance, and if it's not into resistance, it's in no man's land. So Tesla back up here, just hanging out. It's starting to wick off at the top there. Like I said, guys, we're going to see something happen here, and that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing that little bit of stutter, that little step. Are we going to see a small pullback for this? That's what I'm anticipating, maybe a pullback, you know, down here to this 166 area to help hold this uptrend. Just playing inside this range would be really awesome, personally, for day trade. That's why I like to look for day trades. Whew. What are the key levels for bull bear for today? That's actually just what we went over, Blake. But I'll be happy to go over to you again. So like right now, this Tesla trade, if it can break up above this 175, 176 area, that's going to be a bullish sign breaking out to the north side. I personally think that we're going to see a little resistance here. We might get a nice pullback on Tesla to this 167 area. So those are just a couple of ideas, the breakout or the breakdown for that one. Netflix looks like it's running into an area of resistance right here. This might get a nice pullback today, maybe somewhere back down to 330. But if you're talking about the overall indices themselves, I would say SPY is in an area of resistance. The QQQ is in no man's land up here. I would say the next biggest area for it to test is going to be probably 333. Not saying that it's going up to 333, but if it doesn't pull back, that's its next trajectory. So it might pull back. Personally, you know, it being Friday, some people say, you know, free fall Friday, yada, yada, yada. But no sorries, Blake. No, I'm happy to go over everything, brother. Yeah, so SPY just looks like it's in the area of resistance. Maybe we get a pullback down to that 410 again. QQQ's back up here at its all-time, well, we can't say all-time highs, but its highs for the year. Maybe we get a pullback right back down to this 321 again and retest. We will have to see. Maybe it continues higher. The IWM, as long as the financial sector can hold up, IWM might be able to hold up, but we need to protect this 172 and then, of course, its final boss of 168. So if it is going to pull back, we need to see it holding some of these areas, or that's going to look really, really bad. And then, of course, your NASDAQ is above that $1,300 area. Above that $1,300, a lot of your bigger investors are going to be very, very happy with the sign, and they might be starting to take nibbles on some bigger trades, okay? So that being said, if we look at the weighted industry, it's just kind of trading sideways on the inside of this. The weighted meaning everything equals the same amount. The investors business daily, they've been doing a lot of equally weighted to show you, hey, this looks really good. It looks like it's breaking out, but it's because of big tech, right? Big tech is what's making this break out. When if you look at the actual breadth of the market, you'll start to see that the majority of your stocks in the market are declining as to where very few of them are inclining. So while the market, the overall ETFs are inclining, generally most of your stocks are declining. So keep that in mind as well. Your Dow Jones Industrial is running right into that resistance downtrend area line, trading at 33309. So that's what we got there. So yeah, Blake, I'm happy to go over it, brother. Plus, we don't have it's not very busy today. It's kind of slow this morning. So more than happy to go over with you. And if you have any questions on any stocks, just let me know, brother. I'm here for you just as much as I want you to be here for me. So hit that subscribe if you haven't already as well, brother. So let's go back to Tesla. I do really like this trade idea just for a small pullback. I don't want to go too crazy on this. I don't want to take too many shares. We already got 10 shares into this. We're down to about $1.50. I'm not going to hold on to this long. I just want to see if this will pull back from this area just a little bit for me, maybe coming down to this 170. But if it breaks out, I'll be quick to switch, guys. I'll be quick to switch my biases for this. I'm not going to fight what's actually happening here, but if we can see this thing do what I expect it to do, then I'll make some money off of it. Then I'll try and look for the longs in Tesla. All right, so we got that up, Let's take a look at ON. So ON looks like it's doing pretty good in the pre-market. It looks like it's trying to gap up right back into these tops. So we are up on ON for that trade. But we want to see this thing really break out. I'm not seeing much of a breakout. What I do like for ON is I did dive into its financials a little bit, and they look very sound. And when I dive into the financials, what I mean by that is I do something really simple. It's something I haven't showed you guys, but this is FinViz. This is FinViz here, and FinViz is really, really nice, guys. If you go up to the top of FinViz, they have all of these little description tickers on this. Like you can click on, so I click on charts, okay? But to find it at the top here, you can click descriptive, and you can go through all of these, all the different floats, the industries. What I do is I go to the fundamentals, and I do the earnings per share growth for the next 5 years over 10%, return on equity over 10%, sales growth over 10%, return on investment over 10%, earnings per sale growth this year, and quarter over quarter 10%. And then I go to the technicals, and what I do there is I make sure it's all above a 200-day moving average. And then what that does is it just spits out all of these charts. Now what's going to come out? It's going to come out probably as an overview like this. So it gives you this list that you can look through. It's got 3 pages of this, but what I like to do is I click on chart, and then what you can do is you can scroll through these, and then you can even change this to daily or weekly, and you can go through these charts to see if your pattern is setting up. So if you don't have a pattern, what you need to do is start looking for patterns. So start looking for higher lows, start looking for pennants, start looking for things that you might enjoy trying to trade. And then from there, you're going to systematically take each one of those trades, you're going to save them into a software. I use TraderSync, and that way you can go back and check all of those. Blake says, I caught yesterday trying to short a SPY 410 area. Looked like it was going to crack through. Now here I am with my pants around my ankles. Should have cut my loss. Hey man, well hike them pants back up, put your belt on, because here's the thing, man. There's something huge that we can learn with that. Keep in mind, guys, we have about 15 minutes till market open. I need to get some coffee, and I want to go over this with you, Blake, because I've had that issue too before where I'm honestly trying to play these breakdowns, and I personally am bad at breakdowns. Now I don't know where you're at on breakdowns, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but this is what I had to do for myself personally. Every time I tried to play breakdowns, is I just stopped. I stopped playing breakdowns, or if I did, I would only take, a quarter of the shares that I would usually do. But when you see this and you see how many times 410 has been acted upon you'll see, I mean, all the way back here, all the way from 11:30. We could even go back all the way back here, 9:12 of last year. You know, this area of 410 has been touched so many times that if you zoom out and you mark 410 all the way back here, you'll see this area, this area, this whole area, this whole area, this whole area. You can see that 410 has been so gosh darn strong of an area that anytime it's sitting on that, I would always use it as the opposite of what it was. Meaning, if it comes down to 410, I would much rather look for a long than a short. And if it were below here, I much rather look for a short in this area than a long, okay? Because I'm expecting it to bounce off of it, whether it's coming from the top or the bottom. So that's just personally how I do it. I'm not saying you should change up how you're doing it, but yes, if you caught yourself trying to short at 410, you had big guys just go ahead and feeding into that, and they bought in quick. So just keep that in mind. I want that to resonate with you. Same thing with, like, if it comes back up here at this 415, if you expect it to break out, okay, I always like to play the pullback. So if it were to break out of 415, I would expect it to come back and retest 415 and show me that it's strong before it takes off. So like that's the next level to that, right? If you're expecting a breakdown, that's fine. Let it break down, let it come back up and retest that area to continue breaking down, okay? That's just my thoughts. Those aren't yours. It's just, I like to talk. Sometimes I like to talk. So let's go through my trades and see what's going on. So Tesla doesn't look like it's breaking down just yet in that area. We're going to see how market open wants to look. Let's go ahead and look at ON. ON does look like it is wanting to hold out up there. DraftKings, I hold my breath every time I bring up DraftKings. I want to see DraftKings do good. I don't want to get shaken out. No, FinViz is completely free. Anything that I show you on this channel, guys, is going to be completely free. So when it comes to that FinViz, this is completely free, guys. So if you go to finviz.com or if you go to Float Checker or Short Interest or Ape Wisdom or Economic Calendar, all of those that I use on here, guys, are completely free. And if you ever need help or any questions asking how to use them, more than welcome to. Hop into my Discord. I'm always there. You guys can ask me whatever you want. Slide into my DMs. I don't care. I'm not weird about any of that stuff. As long as it's about stocks, I'm willing to chit chat about it. So yeah, no, FinViz does not charge for. You can get a subscription for FinViz. You can actually get a subscription for FinViz. It'll get rid of the ads and it might give you some extra features and a little bit more descriptive, fundamental and technical ways to search for your charts. But I'm never going to pay for it. I'll always use the free version, even if I'm a billionaire. I mean, I'm frugal like that, y'all. There's one subscription I pay to, and that is YouTube. I love YouTube Premium for $11 a month. No, they aren't advertising for me. That would be great, right? But they actually have for $11. There's no interruptions with your video. There's no interruptions with your music. So I pay that $11, $12 a month happily. I happily pay that. They could get me for $20 a month. Don't tell them that though. Let's go ahead look at Netflix. So see, guys, this is why I love taking profit. I love taking profit. I called this all out right here. I took it right here, right in this area, just because we had a beautiful push this week. I want to make sure that I'm extrapolating some of that money. So we locked in $250 right there. Now we can expect this thing to pull back. And say it does hold this support at 330. I can add those 13 shares back if I want to. Okay, I can add those back and everything will be hunky-dory. But personally, what I like to do is I like to leave this last half ride. Okay, I'll bring up my stop loss right here. Actually, I can do that for you right now. Okay, I can bring my stop loss right up to 324.34 or 324 exactly. Okay, so let me go ahead and find 324. This might take me a minute. I'll do that a little later, guys. Let me keep on keeping on. So roadblocks, this is my other trade idea right here. This is why I got out, because I wasn't expecting this thing to fail. It doesn't do anything really in pre-market very often. So I'm expecting this thing to bounce back right up into this area, this $40, $41 area. That's where I'm looking to get a short. I shorted it a little too late yesterday, and knowing that, I decided to exit the trade while I was up $7 right here. I don't want to just hold something if I know it was a dumb trade or it wasn't the smartest trade. I like to get out of it fairly quickly. Okay, so I gave it the overnight to see if it wanted to fail, but it did not. So I got out this morning. I'm going to start out fresh. I'd hate for the market to open and then I'm just already, you know, down a couple of bucks. So right here's Tesla. We're break even on this short right now, guys. And like I said, I'm expecting a pullback. I'm not, just because I'm shorting the market doesn't mean I expect, you know, Tesla to go to zero or to make new lows. This is a day trade. So if you see me taking, you know, a trade, you got to understand what time frame I'm on, okay? And right now on this time frame, I'm definitely zoomed into the hourly and then the 5-minute again, because I know where my levels are. Okay, so if I do take this trade, I plan on adding into this trade, but I got to see what the market wants to bring us this morning. Okay, so we looked at all of my trades and my possible trades. I do want to look at Meta because I do really like Meta for a long, if it can break out of this area. I'd like to see a breakout that a retest, just like we were talking about Blake. If this Meta wants to break out of this area, of this 237 area, 238 area, I want to see it break out on volume, then come back down, retest this area before heading higher. Now, guys, we have 10 more minutes till the market opens. 10 minutes till the market opens. So make sure you do me a huge favor. Oh, Blake, you're absolutely welcome. Hit that like, guys. Hit that subscribe. Just look at my screen really quick. I'll just show you. I'll give you a little peeky gander of what I'm talking about. All right, so make sure you hit this live button, guys. If you're back here, you click this live button. It'll bring you right to the front. Then you can scroll down. Vote on this poll, guys. We have 7 of you so far that have voted on this poll. It looks like 86% are bearish and 14% are bullish for the end of the year. And then you can say something, you know. Say hi, say hello. Let me know what ticker you're watching. If I haven't looked it up yet, just let me know what you're watching. I'll be happy to take a look. And then finally, smash this like button, guys. Smash this like. Make sure we get these numbers up. We don't want these numbers to be low. And then hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you hit that subscribe button, I promise you, I will be here every Friday for you. Not for me, but for you. And bringing you the best commentary, analysis, and live trading, guys. So hit that subscribe button. So we're going to keep on keeping on. So Meta, this was my other trade idea. If it could break up above this, we might see a nice push to the north side trying to hold that 10. But keep in mind, if you actually look at this daily, the key area of support that it always wants to hold is this 30-day moving average. You can see all the way back here when it was trading at 114 that it stayed above that 30-day moving average. And the next trade was 175 is the last time it tested that 30-day moving average. And then it pushed all the way up to 208, tested that 30-day moving average. So a 30-day moving average for Meta seems to be the biggest and best area for support. So is this an area that I would want to buy it right now? I mean, personally, it looks good, but it's still above a 30-day moving average. So I want to use that 30-day. If we were to get in, that's where we would want to get in. I'm getting a little chilly, which is definitely different. So let me go ahead and throw on my sweatshirt. Ayah! Now, don't be alarmed, guys. I mean, it might be right. Who knows? But this is a red sweatshirt. We don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I've had people, you know, go long on whatever stock they wanted to because I wore a green shirt. And then, you know, just don't blame me. Just because I'm wearing a red shirt. Don't blame me. Hey there, how are you watching Tesla? What's up, Jamin Dave? What's going on, brother? Yeah, watching Tesla? Yeah, we're definitely watching Tesla. It's over here on us. It should be on your top right-hand screen. We got Tesla up over here. We're actually taking a few shares short right now. This is just a quick day trade because I'm seeing resistance right here at 175.87. So I took a very, very small shares short to see if this wants to break down from this area. If we get a pullback, maybe we pull back to this 170 area, 167 area. That's just a small little trade. It's my idea, not yours. But I am overall bullish on Tesla for the long run, obviously. But we have to keep in mind, guys, it's still under a 200-day moving average. We can see that we had a less than reputable earnings, even though it beat. They're definitely not making nearly as much money. Now, my boy X had also said that it came out with some pretty good news, which might be great for this stock and might actually have what it needs to push up through this 176 area. And if it can do that, that would be absolutely beautiful for Tesla. I'd love to see this thing push higher. But for now, I'm just using this area of resistance to get a small pullback. So we'll see if we get that in the overall market. X had just messaged and said, what do you think of WCC? Seems to be close to its long-term support of 120. So I'm starting to see in WCC, this thing moves 3.5%, so it's a little bit quicker of a mover than your normal indices. But X-Had, I really like this. I like what you pointed out here. He says it seems to be close to its long-term support of 120. So we'll just mark out this 120 right here for you guys. This is a pretty long-term support, and the fact that it broke out of this support was just absolutely beautiful. This would be a beautiful trade if you could have gotten into this on this breakout of this area right here. Now, if we look at this, the issue that I see with this is not only did it break out here, but it came back down to retest. It bounced, made a new higher low, and then another new higher low, breaking through its 200-day moving average and this area that it needed to test and break up higher. So that's a bad sign for WCC. Now, I don't know anything about this company. I know zero. I see a guy running on this picture, which tells me it probably has something to do with, sports, right? So it being down here at the support at 120, yes, that's nice, but it's below a 200-day moving average. So me personally, I want to see it digest this information a little bit better. Now you have 3, 4, 5 days here that's held out. Maybe if it can continue to hold out, like I would talk to you about the other ones that look like they were big sell-offs, I would definitely like to see it have a little bit more time. But this big sell-off here was on volume. If you look at this volume here, a lot of selling volume. You don't like to see that in these stocks. That's the biggest area, this biggest pocket of volume being traded right now, and it's all to the downside. So I don't like the way it's forming up right now for WCC. I do see your support at 120, and I do like that, but I just don't care. I don't see any patterns in the stocks right now that would look really, really good. One thing I do see just on that breakout is if you looked at this downtrend right here, this would have been a really nice looking trade, because it kept making these new higher lows, and then it got really, really tight right here before it actually broke out. And then it would have gotten me here because it broke down from its 10-day. That would have stopped me out. Well, other than that, I mean, it pushed higher. It was a beautiful trade, but I do like it, but it's just not my type of trade. It's into electrons, communication, and security. Very nice. I actually don't know exactly how those sectors are working out right now, but yeah, let's give this thing a little bit more time to see where it wants to land. If it does want to come down to that 120, I think that would be a great area to maybe grab a few shares. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. How's Lulu doing? Still pulling back? So Lulu right here, guys, it's got this beautiful uptrend on Lulu. Lulu's looking very... Oh, this is ONON. What the heck did I click on? I want to see Lulu, dang it. That's more like it. So it broke that 10-day moving average, and it broke down right at its double top of resistance. So if it can't find a support on this 20 or 30-day moving average, this thing might really seem to fail. Let's see. It seems to be a solid company. So we're X-Hat and I are both talking right now on WCC still. Keep in mind, guys, we're getting ready to open up, so we're going to have to stay focused. Beat earnings for the past quarters. Okay, we will definitely look that up. I'll go a little bit deeper into it, WCC, and I'll go a little bit deeper into their financials right after market open. If you want to remind me, X-Had, I want to keep up on chat. Hey there, how are you? Watching Tesla? Yes, sir. Please recommend your view for the trades that we can enter as per you, if you don't mind. Just view, not suggestion, no obligation. Dave, I definitely will. I'll let you know what's going on. Stay focused, stay tuned, and let's stay sharp, guys, because we only have 1 minute. And yeah, I hope to take some good trades today. And just remember, if you are taking trades, make sure you're using risk management. Make sure you know where your stop out is, and make sure you know how much you're able to lose, okay? Don't get in something, don't follow me, don't blindly follow anybody that you see trading, because it's not your trade, it's theirs, and things can really get messed up. Now we got 30 seconds, guys, so thank you so much for joining me. If you have not already, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, because I'm here every Friday doing this, baby. This is my love, this is my passion, this is LoFiTrader, baby. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. All right, 14 seconds, guys. I hope you're ready. If you're here for the pre-market prep, you know the ideas that I have. If you weren't here for pre-market prep, well, pay attention, because we are going to be doing it, baby. Right now, we are short just a few shares in Tesla, willing to get rid of those shorts very quickly. And market is open, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get it, baby. You know I love it. I'm happy to be here. So let's see what the market wants to bring us right off the rip, baby. So it looks like Tesla is getting that small pullback that we expected. We're going to go ahead and zoom in onto the 5 minute right here and see if we can't keep our eye on everything that's happening. So the SPY, let's go ahead and bring this up. SPY giving a pullback first thing this morning, right off the rip. QQQs looks like it's giving a nice little push. That's very interesting. The IWM does look like it's just trading sideways. NASDAQ had a nice little gap open for the NASDAQ, which is always a promising thing. It does look like we're getting that pullback that I expected for Tesla. We're up a couple of bucks here. Let's take a little peek. $6 right now. Now, the thing is with this Tesla trade, I wanted to get more in, but I expected like a little pop, I guess, to add more in. But it's okay. We're not in it to win it. We're not in it for a long time. We're in it for a good time. So we're making a few bucks off this. And we're going to see if it wants to get down to my price target. We're going to take we'll say 172 just to be safe, guys. 172 I think is a great area to take those profits, or even right now, to be quite honest, because this is right off at the market open. So we're going to go ahead and take this 750 off here. Bada bing, bada boom. We got to go ahead and get that off day. All right. There. We're out of Tesla, guys. We made about $7.40 on that little scalp trade. That's not really what I was expecting out of it, so I'm happy to just get some money out of there and watch it. So these are day trades that you see me taking in front of you right here, right now. So keep that in mind, guys, that I'm just keeping an eye on things. I'm trying to preserve my capital, and I want to keep an eye on the trades that I'm in. So ON, there's our breakout, guys. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. This is why we talked about ON. I talked about it for the past 3 or 4 days now that I've been in it. ON's getting a very beautiful breakout. That's what you like to see, guys, when you are in this trade. We're up about $50 right now in this trade just today. So let's keep on keeping on for ON, baby. That's what I like to see. Now let's take a look at DraftKings and see how it's doing. So good old DraftKings. What? Oh, this is Netflix. I was like, if DraftKings is doing that well, I'm very happy. So we're up still another $250 on our Netflix trade from last week. We took off half this morning, guys. We took off half this morning because we're running right into an area of resistance. I'm going to be very surprised if Netflix wants to actually push through this resistance without having a pullback. If it does that, I'm not going to complain, not one stinking bit, if it wants to keep on keeping on. But I am expecting a pullback in Netflix just because this area of resistance here. So we're going to see what happens and how it wants to play out. But keep in mind, guys, already taken my profits off this, so I am not worried about losing that measly $250. I've already locked in $250, okay? I want to see more money. So if it wants to break out, this could be a very, very nice trade to the north side. If not, it's a-okay. Tesla looks like it's back up, right back into that area of resistance. We're going to see, does it want to break through or does it want to keep on keeping on? Now, I do want to see DraftKings, since I haven't looked at it yet. So DraftKings is just kind of doing its own thing, trading sideways, still above where it closed yesterday. So if we can see some volume coming in here, maybe showing us that this $24 area is support and it can head to the north side, that would be absolutely beautiful. There we go. Tesla is now clearing out that pre-market area Let's see if it wants to head back lower. Now that it cleared out that area, it might, or maybe it keeps on heading on higher. So, hi everyone, time change has got me. Love to all. Granny Randy, you're here. I'm here. Let's take a sip for you. Love you. I love you. I hope everything's going great with Matt and his heart. I hope that he's happy and healthy, and God bless him and everybody in Missouri right now. So thank you so much for swinging in, Grandma. I do appreciate your time. Thank you for stopping and saying hi. So let's see, Tesla, are you going to show me the resistance that I'm expecting in this area, or are you going to want to head on higher? Let's take a look at Microsoft now, just kind of trading sideways here. AMZN, beautiful, nice little push this morning. That's what we like to see. Meta looks like it started to break down in this area, finding some resistance up there at the highs. NVIDIA, a nice push. First thing this morning, straight up, 287.65 it's trading at right now. Let's see, AAPL, delicious and nutritious, still holding those highs up there at the peak. Very beautiful for Apple. Let's see if it wants to keep on keeping on. Google still holding some of that gap, trading sideways at 116.98. Let's see what else we got going on here. ON, sideways. Lulu. Yeah, so this Lulu here, guys, I wonder if it's going to find support or if it's going to continue lower. But I tell you, that for some reason, RBLX, I just want to short this RBLX so stinking bad. It's just not doing anything, though. There's no volume on it, so it's why do I even care? And I think it's just because I don't believe in Roblox. I want to see it fail. Let's see. Matt's doing great as of last night. That's awesome to hear, Grandma. That's awesome to hear. Let's go ahead and bring up ON because that seems to be the most exciting one. Now, guys, if you have something that is trading like crazy and I'm not, well, let me in. I want to see it. I want to see it, guys. So ON is doing very well. These are the breakouts that you like to see right here, guys. What a beautiful breakout. Now we want to see it hold that breakout. Part of me wants to add to this. I think the bigger traders end up adding into these. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm in, now it broke out. I'm going to add more into it, all that good stuff. Let's take a look at NVIDIA, though, because that is our leader. And if NVIDIA doesn't want to hold up, see how this push looks just like this push? It's like one of those things. I think we got a leader-lagger situation here. And if we look out on the daily, you could see that they do kind of look similar here. Let's zoom out on both of these just so we can see. So you got this huge push up and above a 200-day moving average. This thing just went straight up as this thing's kind of chop. So we'll see how it goes. But right now we're up $59 on ON. Yes, I do want to add more into it, but as you guys know, if you've been watching me over the course of the past few months, adding into my trades ends up hurting me overall. So I'm in what I'm in with, and that is that. Let's go back and take a look at Tesla to see if my Tesla idea is working out. So it does look like we did get that breakdown. We did make $7.40, but it did not break down to where I expected it to so far. Not saying it's not going to get back down there, but I'd much rather see Tesla showing strength and breaking up to the north side. And if it wants to do that, I am A-okay with that. I will hold on to my pants, I will tighten them down, and I will take a tasty long to the north side if that's what is necessary. Let's hold on up there, ON. Let's hold on up there. Netflix is still trying to hold up there too, which is really surprising to me, guys. It really is. I mean, I expect a pullback. I mean, look at this thing. What a beautiful push, off of this here. If this thing breaks out above this, wow, watch out. Watch out. Because the next stop then would be 364. That's going to be some good money for me if it can break out above that. There's Tesla breaking out. Part of me wants to get in on this bid. This thing, that's a nice little breakout there on Tesla. So now it needs to hold that breakout though. That's the thing. It needs to hold this breakout. All right. So we took 10 shares, and I'm easily able to hold on to those 10 shares just because we've already made a little bit of money on this pullback on Tesla that I was expecting this morning. Now we got out quick because the overall bullish sentiment into this thing. Now it pushed up through this area. Now we need to see it hold. Okay, if it pushes up through and comes back to retest, that's fine. Let's let it retest. Let's let it build a new higher low, and let's see if it wants to take off to the north side. If not, and it comes back and it's going to break us off, we're going to be break even for Tesla. That's fine. That's a risk I am willing to take on this trade just because we know how Tesla can be on these breakouts. So we're going to see if this is what we want to get for Tesla. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Tesla's getting that breakdown now. Yep. It's still a little early to be trading. This is it's a little too early to be trading this because it's so volatile, guys. Like if you look at the overall market, you're going to see a lot of whipsaw action happening here. First thing this morning, moving ups and downs pretty big. Now, nothing compared to what we used to see, guys. What we used to see first thing in the morning used to be way more whippy action than this, but this is where you're going to see a lot of your action happening, okay? So here we go. Tesla's heading back up to that north side. You know, we're going to see. We're just holding on to it. We're just holding on to 10 shares to see what is actually going to happen. I would like to see something big happen in the market today, obviously, because I'm streaming, but you never actually know what is going to happen in this market. But what you can do is stack your chips so that way you have a better chance and a better opportunity to play the market in your favor. Okay, so it looks like Tesla is starting to break to the north side. Let's see if it can continue, though. That's the thing. I don't want to sit here and repeat myself as it goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up. We're going to let it do its thing, let it play out. So let's give it a little bit of time, and we'll check out on our other stocks for now. So ON still trying to hold up in that area. It looks like DraftKings still just trading sideways. We're seeing some wicking off on the bottom of those 5 minutes, which on the 5 minute doesn't mean nearly as much as you want to see it on the hourly. Netflix just kind of doing its thing. Tesla's going up for that first 2 hours, but it will come down. Yeah, I mean, I hope it does because I just bought a few shares, so I would be just fine with Tesla going up for 2 hours. I'm just fine with that. And then I'll sell those 10 shares up there and, I think the next stop, if it breaks out of this area, I think the next stop is going to be that 185. So, if I can hold on to 10 shares to 185, that's totally fine. That's $100, So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's, sitting up there at 176.80 right now, Dave. And it looks good. But yeah, the market doesn't just go straight up or straight down. So, if you're expecting a move to go up, expect it to come back down. But we want to see new higher lows being put in the overall market because that means the overall market is doing healthy things. The SPY now up to 413.46. Let's see if it wants to keep on keeping on to the north side. We got the QQQs just trading sideways now since it opened up, popping up there to 326.83. Let's take a look at the delicious Russell, up about 0.5% so far, trading at 174.05. The NASDAQ, that gap up is being held, just kind of trading sideways since the open. The Dow Jones Industrial also holding that gap up, just trading sideways here. Tesla ramping up to the north side, looking really good for Tesla in this area. Now, we got to see Tesla continue to push in this area though, because if it doesn't and it wants to head back down, that's not going to look good right in this area of resistance. So we need to see some volume coming in. We need to see Tesla holding out this area. So already trading more volume than the previous week's Tesla is. So that's a really good sign right now, guys. If there's a lot of oh wow, this could be really, really great. So I don't want to get anybody too excited for this, but if we do continue to see more and more volume show up in the market, wow, Netflix, another push, guys. Netflix is at its highs for the day so far. Obviously, everything can change because it's so early, but if we do start seeing higher volume activity for Tesla on this area that it is supposed to be resistance, if it breaks through on volume, that's going to be a really, really good sign for Tesla to try and head up towards that 200-day moving average again. So we're going to give it a little bit more time. We'll see what happens for that trade. We're up, wow, $38 just on the day for those last 12 shares. We're up $268 for this last piece of our Netflix trade, and we're up about $10 on Tesla. Let's take a look at ON. Today's a really good day so far. We're up about $40 on ON. Still just kind of lingering around there in that area. We want to see this thing hold. Let's put it this way. If this thing can hold this area absolutely beautiful. It would be absolutely beautiful if it can hold this area right here, right where it touched down on and started waking up. I would love to see it hold this. If it can hold, that would be its retest area of its tops, of its triple top right here. And if it shows that this area is its new area of support, then I'm going to want to add a few more shares into this. So that would be absolutely beautiful. And holy crap, Netflix is just rip city to the north side. Let's go back to Tesla. And guys, I know that I'm only looking at the stocks that I'm playing, but if you want me to go over something that you're playing, just let me know. I'll be happy to go over it. I might even take a few shares just so I keep vested in it to make sure that you are staying here with me. So let me know what you got and I'll be happy to take a peeky gander. You just gotta throw it up in chat. And while you guys are here, go ahead and look at the board, would you? We got 8 of you watching now. Smash that like button. We're already up to 10 likes. I do appreciate that. Thank you. But hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Guys, I'm here every Friday. I also bring you a watch list on Sundays, and I like to sprinkle in some shorts there from time to time. So if you hit that subscribe button, you can be here for me just as much as I want to be here for you. So make sure you do that. Now look at Netflix. I mean, you cannot expect this thing to just rip city, but that's A-okay. That's why we took off half, because I didn't expect it to. But now that it's giving us more money than we knew we were going to have, I'm A-okay. Just keep on keeping on. I'm not going to argue with money. You know, you want to keep on giving me money, I'm going to keep on accepting that money. So Tesla, back up here. It looks like we're starting to stutter. We're starting to shake up here at these tops. I really want to see Tesla, honestly. I would love to see Tesla do well, do great things again, to break out. I'd love to see a nice breakout trade on Tesla. And yeah, more than one reason why. One, because it's going to help the overall market. It's going to help that sentiment in the overall market. It's going to definitely bring up the QQQs, the SPY. It's going to bring up your mutual funds, your ETFs. If you own anything, any ETFs or anything like that, you got to understand, you've bought Tesla. Tesla is very well weighted in all your ETFs and all that stuff, okay? Very heavily weighted. Now, Apple is one of the most heavily weighted in your ETFs. Which, speaking of Apple, let's take a little peeky gander at AAPL and see how Apple is doing. Apple looks like it is starting to fail a little bit here, trading at 173.20. You can expect some kind of pullback for Apple, guys. Look how extended it is from its 10, 20, and 30-day moving average. Now, Apple has shown support on its 200, on its 30, on its 20 multiple times, but it's extended. So it pulling back like this isn't bad, is not a bad sign at all. It's got plenty of room to work with, and it looks good so far. NVDA is just trading sideways per its usual. Still holding that 10-day moving average, though. It looks like Meta's trading at 235.18. At 235.18, so that Meta trade did not break up above. So because it didn't break up, that short would have worked out great for us, guys. Very beautiful. Of course, we didn't get into it. Our minds were on other things. Let's go ahead and look at MSoft. So I like seeing MSoft, but I want to see it hold up in these areas. It's squatting right down now on its 10-day moving average. Can it hold this 10-day moving average? If it can, that's going to be an actual beautiful sign for Microsoft. If not, it's got plenty of room to come down. It's very well extended from its 20 and 30-day moving averages as well. So will it hold its 10-day moving average? Time will tell. We're going to see if that's what wants to happen. AMZN just kind of trading sideways, 111.75 right now, above that $100 moving average, above the $100 area, above a 200-day moving average. This looks really, really good now. Running right into its double top here. Not a double top formidably, or not a complete double top. It's not a complete double top on AMZN, but I do have my alert set, so when it does hit that double top, we can at least be there to take a little peeky gander. Now, Tesla looks like it is still above where we bought it, but not doing anything too pretty. Just kind of trading sideways here. We need to see some more volume come in for this. If we can get some more volume just rushing in for this trade, that would look absolutely beautiful for Tesla. It's coming back down to retest some of these areas, and we're going to see if that's what it wants to do. So, good old Uncle Tesla. Let's see if Uncle Tesla wants to give us some money today. There we go, Netflix. Come on back down. I would love to see Netflix obviously just goes straight to the moon, right? I mean, I got money in it, yada, 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 whatever. But the thing is I'm not naive to it. If we want to see this thing get higher, we need to see it trading sideways. We need to see it pulling back and trading sideways. We need to see this thing do something, right? We need to see it actually do something. But if it just goes straight up, I'm going to end up taking more and more profits as it goes up. But as long as it trades sideways or has some, conformity, some action, I can leave my money in there. I can leave my money in there. Now this is not a name I've looked up in a while, and that's First Solar. Look at what First Solar just did. Goodness gracious, what just happened here? This thing must have came out with some news or something. First Solar strikes rises on deal for European solar tech firms. So Xhad, I don't know if you're in here, or Blake, if you guys are in here, this is the kind of news that we're talking about. This is the kind of news that we're talking about. So I didn't see this on the 5-minute range break, but this thing is absolutely killing it right now. But it came right back up into an area of its resistance. So if you guys look, this is an area of resistance it came flying right up into. So this would be a quick short for me personally. I do like this for a short in this red-green area. Now this is crazy news though. So it rises on deal for European solar tech firm. So that's very, very interesting. If that were to actually go through, this could be a crazy push to the north side if it can break out of this area. I mean, that could be crazy. But personally, I think that we're going to see this thing fail right here just because I think it's going to fail right here because we're in an area of resistance, guys. That's it. That's the only reason why I think it's going to fail right here, an area of resistance. But wow, what a beautiful push for that. So I'm going to short this right here. This is my trade. This is not your trade, so do not follow my trades. I'm just taking a small short here to see if we can get this thing to have a small pullback in this area. But if this thing were to push and to break out of this area that I'm shorting at, this thing really can get going to the north side. So make sure you have your stop losses set. Make sure you're being very, very careful with what you do here, because I'm already down $6 in this trade. So if this thing really gets to ripping, this thing can just knock me out quick. So I need to make sure that I have my stop loss set, because if this thing just takes off out on a terror, I don't want to be a part of that. So I've already set my stop loss. I've only taken 13 shares of this, guys, and I've set my stop loss up here at this peak. All right. So we're gonna see what wants to happen in this area for First Solar. Holy crap, that's hard to say. Yeah, if this, I really think if this thing breaks out, I'm gonna switch biases pretty gosh darn quick, I think. And I think I'm just gonna have to take the bid to the north side and see what we can do with it. So we'll see. Yep. Yeah, area of resistance right here for First Solar, but an amazing piece of news that just came out for First Solar might completely change this game. So we're going to see what happens right here for this First Solar, because you don't see a big ramp up like this. Wow, what a huge push for First Solar. So I still believe in the short right here. Maybe my stop loss is not, maybe I should open my stop loss a little bit more, reduce share size and open my stop loss to the high of day at 222, which actually is not too far off. 222, yeah, that's not too far off. So 222, that's going to be another $26 to raise it up to that. I think I leave it here and then I'll just keep an eye on it. Yeah, we're gonna leave this short right where it's at, using the high of days as a stop loss. The stop loss for that high a day is, personally, I think that's garbage. I didn't give myself enough time to think about that stop loss, but look at SCHW breaking out into resistance. Let's take a look at it. I think that's Charles Schwab, if I remember correctly. Oh, look at that. Charles Schwab's getting a nice push here. So be careful with this push. Just be careful with it. Because it looks like just above that, there's an area of resistance. All right, so that resistance is going to be at 50. So at 50, oh yep, right there you can see it. So it's pushing, it's 49.64 right now. Be very careful with Charles Schwab in that area because psychologically, 50 is a very psychological area, and it's also an area of technical resistance. You can see that it's played off of that on the daily multiple times. So keep that in mind just for Charles Schwab. I do like the idea of breaking out into resistance. Yeah, you did say that. Okay, so I'm sorry. Thanks, XHAD, for pointing that out. Yeah, it is breaking out right into resistance. Thank you so much for pointing that out. First Solar, I'm going to go ahead and join the bid on First Solar now because it just got me out. This is a nice breakout right here, guys, and I want to be a part of it. Oh, gosh. All right, we're in it for 13 shares, and I'm going to be holding on to this for a little while. It's really going to have to do something crazy to get me out of this ticker now, because it is really ramping up. It's into that 222. How's the volume? Sorry if I'm getting a little quiet here, guys. This might be an episodic pivot, and I might really want to take a nice trade on this, and I'm gonna. You know, I might lose a little bit on this trade, guys. Don't take this trade. This is my trade, not yours, but I am going to take a decent sized trade on this, and I don't really care what I lose. I don't care what I lose on this. First Solar, this could be a huge deal for him, and if it doesn't break out right here, yeah, it needs to break out right here. This is the area. I'm going to mark this out. I'm getting a little quiet just because I need to think here, guys. I need to make sure my trading's doing the right things. So this is right here. So I need to get rid of these. I think. Because it's stopping right here. And I need to short this. It's just touched that high. All right, guys, so what I'm looking at is to take a short now right at the very peak. All right, and then I'm going to put I just got to keep an eye on it. I am shorting this because it's at the very peak, and then I'll have to reverse this if it changes. But because we're right there at that 222, I want to make sure that if this thing pulls back, even if it's a little bit, we can make a little bit of money on the pullback. But I'm expecting a pullback on this First Solar because it's came right into its high, its all-time highs. So I want to see this thing pull back and form a new high or low somewhere. So there we go. Now we can give it a little bit of room to breathe as Charles Schwab comes right up into that $50 area that my boy pointed out. Breaking into resistance. What else are you guys looking at? Let me know in the chat what you're looking at, but I am really hyper focused on this this First Solar, and we need to take a look at our other. Okay, so Tesla right here at this area. I think I'll set my stop loss now on Tesla to, come on now, baby. Yeah, because if First Solar takes off from this area, that would be nuts. That really would be. But because of the resistance, I have to use my technical analysis. Okay, that's not. Yeah, I think this thing is going to take off. Yeah, I'm getting caught up on both sides now. Getting caught up on both sides, losing money trying to play both sides of this. So now I need to pick a side and hold on to it. And it looks like the north side is the way we want to go. All right. Now I need to forget about this trade. We're in it to win it, baby. We're going to the north side for First Solar because it broke out of that area on some crazy news. So this is what would be considered an episodic pivot, guys. Episodic pivot right here. It's been a while since I got to play one, but we're up about $12 on this, down 40 total on trade, actually trying to get into this stupid trade. So we're going to see if that actually wants to hold off. And if First Solar wants to keep coming in with all this crazy amount of volume, we might really see this thing rip. So keep that in mind, guys. You heard it here first. We're up about $26 on this trade. We're in 20 shares. I want to see this thing really take off. I mean, that would be absolutely beautiful. This thing really could take off for me. Looks like Tesla's pulling back 176.40. We're going to go over the chat. I don't want to lose you guys here. AZTA looks like it had a breakdown, then bounce back up right into this area of resistance. This might be a nice area for a short just because we're seeing a huge sell-off, then a pop up here. Maybe it runs into some resistance a little further back before selling off a little bit more. That's just at the first quick look at this, you know. So let me just mark this out. This is a very key area right here at 42.82. So if this thing gets back up to that 42.82, which it looked like it came close, 42.08. So very, very close to that area. And it looks like it wants to break down from that area. So let's go ahead and bring up DVN. So DVN. DVN is under a 200-day moving average, and it looks like it's on this downtrend right here. So if we draw this downtrend out, it's very, very clear. And then we can zoom out on this hourly. We can see that we're down here at this base. It looks like it's going to get a nice little pop back up to retest this downtrend line. But these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just kind of taking a look at it. But I would be very careful with DVN. It looks just as though this thing is just selling off. You know, I don't trust DVN, and I'm not sure what you're looking for exactly in it for either trade, but that's just my look. So congratulations, Fit17 Bull, if you're listening, on your win today. Right now, yeah, this is beautiful. I'm pumped that we got this. First Solar, this long on First Solar right now. I want to see this thing continue to rip. Any pullbacks, maybe I add into it, because this could be a big one. It really could. Yeah, wow. Lots of. This is beautiful. I'm happy. I'm happy. Happy Friday. This could be absolutely monstrous, guys. This could be monstrous. And I'm not saying to get you to take it, because now's not the time to take it. The breakout was the time to take it. You know, now I actually have room to play it, so if it comes back, I'll only take a small loss. But if this thing wants to keep breaking out to the north side, I mean, it's just a beautiful play. You know, so hopefully it does. I hope it does. Let's take a look at the rest of these here. Tesla is breaking down now. We're going to go ahead and get out of Tesla there, because I think it's actually going to do my pullback thing that I anticipated. If you guys remember this morning, I talked about Tesla coming up, running into that area of resistance, and then having a pullback. It looks like it is having that pullback now, but I'm not in it where I need to be. So no big deal. I'd like to see First Solar catching a bid right here. Man, I'd love to add into this, because this thing could absolutely be nutso if they actually land a deal like that in the European thing. They're a huge company too. I know a lot of my friends have actually worked for First Solar, like built a lot of their did a lot of their concrete and stuff for their warehouses and yada yada yada. So it's pretty cool. Let's see, RBLX still just hanging around down there. Let's see, ON, is that still holding up? No, ON came all the way back down. That's okay though. We're going to see if it's going to retest and hold out, but it did not hold this area, which sucks. So, oh well. Looks like the QQQ had a very big sell-off right there. Is it going to hold? Well, I say very big. Let's go ahead and just give you the real numbers here. About 0.5%. It just failed there. So we're going to see, is it going to want to find some support and head on higher, that'd be a beautiful thing. But as we expected, you know, the QQQs are very, very, you know, they got a lot. They got a lot, a big push. They're due for a pullback at least, you know, and we'd like to see them doing that. So let's see. You know, I'd like to see is like the level 2 for First Solar. I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to see anything. You know, another thing would be great for this is book maps, to see where everybody's sitting on the book maps for First Solar. That would be great too. But right here, you know, there's a way to you know, to change your level 2 up and stuff, so that way you can see, you know, only so many trades, like only the highest bids, yada yada yada. I'm not seeing, it's not too crazy on here, but I'm telling you, I really do want to add more into this. It's crazy. I just feel like, I don't know, now would be the time to do it if I was going to do it, but ay, ay, ay. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. Let's see how bad NVIDIA is doing now. Or Netflix, Netflix, big pullback here. We were expecting a big pullback for Netflix. That's why we got out half at the top. Take a look at the SPY. SPY's pulling back. Are we coming back down to 410 again? 410 again? Holy guacamole. All right. Let's see this happen now. Give me some money, baby. Let's break out First Solar. All right, what else we got? DKNG, how are you doing? DKNG is still just trading sideways, not doing much of anything. We're up about $6 for the day, but down about $36 in total for the trade. No big deal. I was hoping to see RBLX just flunk and fail, but it doesn't want to. But it doesn't want to. I'd say all right. All right. All right, we got First Solar pushing back up now. This time it doesn't look like it's not nearly as much volume. Give me some volume. Give me some volume for it, baby. Let's go. Oh, First Solar doesn't want to push. Doesn't want to push any higher, it looks like. Maybe clearing out all that liquidity there. Yep. Come on, baby. I just want to get another push above this. That's what would be nice. I want to see a new high. My internet's giving me trouble. I may or may not be able to stay on. You know, Grandma, it's A-okay. You do your thing. You do what makes you happy. And if your internet keeps messing up, well, then that's A-okay. I know you're out there in the sticks in Missouri right now. I want you to enjoy your time. So if you got to go, you got to go, girl. That's A-okay. I want to be here making money regardless. Let's see here. RBLX, can you just break down for me while First Solar just ramps up to the north side? So as the QQQs are pulling back, as the SPY is pulling back, it looks like First Solar is still pushing to the north side. So that's a beautiful thing for this breakout right now. Wow, you know, if we can, wow. I mean, this could end up being one of my biggest trades if this works out the way it should. Now I say it works out the way it should as an episodic pivot. So we gotta ask a few things. Did this thing gap up over 10%? Well, let's take a look at the gap. This gap was over 24%, okay? Also, does it have big volume present? It absolutely has big volume present right here. Plenty of volume coming in for that trade. Next question would be, is the EPS revenue growth three times the percent? So we'll look up FSLR. We'll look up the earning revenue growth right here. I'll click on more financials so you guys can see it. And here's our overview. Actually, let me just go to statements. And then if we look at this, if we look at the, we want to see the EPS revenue growth. So annually, Here's our revenue growth right here. Basic earnings per share. You can see 60%, 186, that neutralized, 444, 17, 109. So it's got its ups and downs. Let's look at the quarterly. So it looks like the quarterly earnings per share, it looks like we do have growth, but it's still a little skeptical. It's nothing too crazy. So annually, it looks like they're earning, but they're not like jumping up in earnings hand over fist, okay? Let's take a look at what else. Stops are always at low of day using trailing 10 to 20 day moving averages. There are no EPs and downtrends, and the daily moving average should be below price. All right. Well, that being said, guys, we played this breakout. I didn't play the range breakout on the 5 minute, or we would have got in right here. So we're a little extended on this, but you know, I do like this trade. I don't know, you know, if I'm oversized or not. So part of me says I'm out of this, and that's a-okay. The reason why I'm out is because I got into a trade that was overextended, but it did break this key area, and I feel like I oversized. So I still feel like this thing can really, really take off, but I feel like I need to size down to like 5 shares and not 20. It's just too much of movement. We were down $60 $40 trying to get into this trade. Now that I got into the trade and I felt comfortable, it broke a new higher low and it broke me out for about break even. So, or not break, yeah, about break even. I'm up $10, right? I'm up $10 on this trade. So I want to find a better entry with less in risk, so that way I'm not sitting here holding my breath the whole time that we're in this, okay? So we'll see what happens here. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get in 5 shares. I'm gonna just let 5 shares ride, so that way we can feel a little bit more comfortable in this trade. I hate being uncomfortable in a trade. I always try and say, we don't want to be sweaty traders. If your hands are sweaty, you're not doing something right. You know, you don't want to, you guys don't want to just be sweating bullets in these trades. You know, that's the last thing that you want to do. It makes trading uncomfortable. It makes it not nearly as fun as it should be, you know, so just keep that in mind. S&P 500 at 412.28. The QQQs at 325.53. IWM trading at lows 173 right now. It traded all the way down to 172.49. Wow. The NASDAQ looked like it broke down below the closing price of Thursday. Looks like it might want to find a nice higher low down there, though. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla did break down. It looks like it's trying to find some support down here in this area. So it did end up reaching my profit target. Took the Tesla put trade, got out sub 174. Hell yeah. Happy you could make profit. So I got a guy in here in Wolf Trading. I absolutely love this, and it happens all the time. And that's why I know my technical analysis is spot on. Like I really, really am good at doing technical analysis, but my trading does not line up with it. So Option Doctor said he took the Tesla put trade and got out sub 174. So he made some dang good money off of my trade idea, knowing that we were into resistance at 175. Okay, we had to hold our breaths up here in this area just because it pushed a little higher than anticipated, but the overall trade ended up working out. Now, personally, I still think that this thing can come back further. I really do. I think it can come all the way back down here around 170, but you take profits when you can, and right here is an area of support because it is a top. So we are going to expect something to happen around 173. Now, I only made, what, a few dollars off of that idea, and then I switched to the long because of the breakout, you know, so I messed this up. Overall, I'm down $8 because of this, because I didn't pick a side and go with it. Instead, Option Doxer, he stuck with it. He made through with it, and he made some money. So I love to hear it, guys. I love to see it. And let's see if Tesla wants to keep on heading down to that 170 area. Or maybe it'll form a new higher low in this area and keep heading higher. We'll have to see very, very soon. All right. So we're still up $225 on our Netflix trade. Let's go ahead and look at ON. Did ON start shaping back up? It did. It had a nice little bounce off of that breakout area that originally came off of. We're up about $9.50 on that trade. Let's see, DraftKings doing anything? Not much. We're about $8.50 on that trade, but down overall 33 bucks. So we're doing very, very well today for ourselves, guys. We're locking in a lot of those profits, and we're trying to take names. Kick some butt and take some names, baby. That's what we're trying to do here. So it looks like Roblox is right back up into that area that it cannot break through, that $40 area where I had it short yesterday, but we're not seeing too much activity in there. So let's go back to First Solar, just because I haven't looked at it in a little bit. So it's a good thing that we got out of the shares that we did, but I'm happy that we got back into a smaller share size, so that way we don't have to sweat so much on this trade. I do like this trade. I like First Solar for a breakout trade, but this is my trade, not yours, guys, so keep that in mind. I'm just a big YouTube talking head, big old chin filled with coffee here, just trying to make a few trades, trying to make a little bit of money. I want to run through a few of these, but which ones do I want to run through? Good old Uncle Tesla. All right, First Solar is pulling back down to that 223.18 area. We're going to give this a lot more time to see what it wants to do, because if it wants to bounce off this area, I think that would be absolutely beautiful for First Solar. And if not, wants to keep on heading lower, that's A-OK too. We're not going to give this thing too much time. Maybe VWAP would be a nice area to add into, but if it wants to bounce off of this area, that's A-OK with me. Give it a little bit more time and we will see. As Tesla continues to break down, 173.85 right now. Look at the market. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY 412.18. The Qs 325.51. Let's take a look at NVDA. Trading at 284.11. Meta 234.45. Let's zoom out on Meta here. I actually want to see this really quick. So look at this uptrend on Meta from down here. Okay, I still think we can pull back some more on Meta, but if it wants to hold this new higher low, that might be a nice new higher low before it starts to break out. Could be, should be, could be, should be, would be, could be, something like that. All right. I am getting hungry, guys. Anybody want to send me a sandwich? I would appreciate it. That'd be A-OK with me if you want to send me a sandwich. So guys, just going to do this as I haven't done it in a while. Bring this up, put this in front of your face and say, hey, click this live button. You click this live button, it'll take you right to the very front of the page, so that way you are being kept up on to the most nearest and dearest news. Will the bear or bull market for the rest of the year? Will this be a bear market or a bull market for the rest of the year? 89% of you said the bear market. 11% said the bull market. If you want to scroll on down here, guys, smash that like button. We're up to 11 likes so far. I want to see if we can get up to 20 by the end of the day. We get about 2 hours left in the day. So go ahead and clap that subscribe button. Clap that subscribe button for me. Guys, if you would be so kind. I want to be here for you just as much as I want you to be here for me. So make sure you do it, baby. Make sure you're doing it. All right, I'm going to just try and take this right here because I think it's going to break down. We're going to see if it wants to. I'm going to use this as its risk, this 39.96, as a soft stop. So if it wants to get up above that area, that's going to be my area where I'm going to say, maybe we want to get out of this trade, but I'll keep an eye on it. So it's not a soft stop means that I don't get out right away. A hard stop means I get out right away. A soft stop would mean that when it gets up into that area, I'm going to keep a very close eye on it to see if it's an area that I would want to exit or if I want to hold on to it for a little bit longer to see if we can see this thing fail. So Roblox just trading sideways above a VWAP area. I feel like I am fighting this thing a little bit, just because I don't like Roblox. I got a buddy of mine who says that I play Roblox more than my kids do, and that's absolutely true. I definitely play the ticker Roblox more than my kids play Roblox, and that's the thing. I don't believe in Roblox. I think Roblox is bound to fail eventually. I really think that they're bound to fail eventually, because most of your video game makers, and like, name any video game, right? Any original video game. And you can't say Mario because Mario keeps coming out with new games. But if you were to say like Mario Super Sport, you'd be like, what game is that? Well, that's because it was popular at once and now it's gone. Just like Roblox, in my mind, eventually will be. Okay? So, those are my thoughts, not yours though, guys. So I took a short on Roblox. I do expect Roblox to fail. And, you know, after these earnings and all that bullish sentiment, it ran right into 42, which is an area of resistance. And so that's why I wanted to get into this thing short. So I've been trying to hold out on it to call it short and all that good stuff. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it wants to go down, down, baby. In the meantime, this First Solar is not looking too healthy. Even with 5 shares, that simple 5 shares has already brought us down $26.98. So it doesn't make me want to hold on to this thing for very much longer. If it doesn't start doing something here, I might have to exit out of it, and then we'll be down a total for the day, $16 on First Solar. But that was spending money to try and find a good area to enter, and then that was holding, exiting, holding, exiting. So I really mucked up this trade pretty bad, especially because the very first thing I called on this was the short. Now, I don't think I've given it enough time because of the breakout, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, that's part of trading, and that's why I do it here, guys. I do it for you, so you can see that, you know, you're not the only one out there trying to figure this thing out. I am too, and there's plenty of other traders out there trying to figure it out. Now, if you can find some disciplinary rules for yourself after finding an edge, you can find your disciplinary rules, and then you can offset your say you only have a 50-50 win rate. If you use proper risk management, you can still make money doing that. Even if you have a 30-60, 30-60, and then the other 10% is break even, just so I don't get crapped on. But yeah, guys, make sure you find an edge. Make sure that you learn how to extrapolate some money from this market by having disciplinary rules set in place. And everybody's rules are going to be different. The way everybody trades is going to be different. It's just the way it is. You know, it's just the way it is. So I'm jabbering now just because I'm watching this First Solar just keep heading lower and lower and lower. This VWAP area is going to have to be my area of solitude. So if it breaks VWAP, I'm going to have to get out, and that's A-okay. I want to see it, you know, gain some more momentum, especially on all of this. It looks like people are taking profits. It looks like it's definitely overbought. It's into an area of resistance, just like previous. But wow, what a huge push on that news, though. That news, again, I'll just read it to you guys. That news again, what's going on with First Solar shares today? Well, the EV Lure acquisition gives First Solar its first European R&D facility. Okay, so does that mean that it actually happened? All right, well, it's time to get reading on some of this news, ladies and gentlemen. First Solar has agreed to buy the European solar technology company Evolar for up to $80 million based on a milestone achievement in a deal that gives Solar its first research and development facility in Europe. As Evolar's laboratory in Uppsala, Sweden will continue to conduct its research operating in California and Ohio, First Solar's combined Evolar's leadership on perovskite technology with its own R&D streams accelerate the next and Dow Jones Newswire. Okay? Let's see what else they got for this. It acquires for $80 billion. Let's see. First Solar strengthened its thin film photovoltaics PV offering via acquisition. The company paid a purchase price of $38 million and will also pay to an additional $42 million, subject to the achievement of certain technical milestones in the future. First Solar project, an impact of around 2 to 4 million, excluding the purchase price, accounting on the 2023 operations expenses. Within this acquisition, along with new innovative center in the United States and long-standing commitment to R&D, we are investing not just in First Solar's future, but the future of solar energy, said Mark Wildmar, Chief Executive Officer for First Solar. Of course, he's going to have nice things to say, but I want to point out to you guys that even if this trade doesn't work out, I want you to understand why I exited here and then why I re-entered with smaller share size. Because if I had that same 20 shares here, I would have exited this trade here. I would have been down so much money at that time. And when I say so much, I probably would have been down about $100. And if I would have been down that much, I would have squealed out of this trade and I still wouldn't be holding on to this thing. So that's why I've downgraded to 5 shares, because now I know I can comfortably hold on to those 5 shares and I don't have to worry about a thing. I don't have to worry about anything. I just have to worry about it breaking VWAP and then me getting out, right? But if I was holding 20 shares, I would have sweat bullets. I would have exited this trade, and then it would have bounced back up, and then, you know, that's just part of it. Pick a side and then stick with it, and that seems to be a very hard thing for me to do from time to time. So let's see, guys. If you guys are watching something that I'm not, because I'm just looking at what I want to look at, but if you guys want to see something, let me know in the chat, and I'll be happy to go over it. So First Solar here, we are trying to play this breakout. I'd love to see a breakout continuation on First Solar. So we have 5 shares into this. We're down about $4 or $5 so far on this specific trade. We're shorting Roblox right here, even though it's showing new lower highs. We might have to exit this thing out pretty quickly, just because it is showing new lower highs, but it has not broke out or broke down yet. That's good coffee. This coffee today is from Silly Sips Coffee. Silly Sips Coffee, you can go to sillysipscoffee.com. They donate 10% of all their proceeds actually goes to the Children's Mind Institute. This is my bag here. This was sent to me for free. He's an awesome sponsor of me, and I really, really like these guys, and I really like their coffee. So that being said, let me pour a little bit. And if you guys want to, go to sillysips.com, get your cup of coffee today. I think you can get up to $3 off if you go there today. You don't need a promotion code. Just check out their website. You'll see the $3 off right there in the front. Yeah, if there's any comments, let them know that Lo-Fi sent you. All right, guys. Let me see my phone here, make sure I'm caught up on everything. Nice, good luck today. Thank you, Stu. Sweet. Things are looking good, guys. Yeah, First Solar, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So we're going to see. I'd love to see this thing continue. That would be just the most beautiful thing in the world. Let's see Roblox break down, huh? It's holding these new lower highs, so I don't expect me to actually make anything on this trade now. I feel kind of silly taking it because my expected move was all the way up here at 40.63, so why am I shorting this now? Say okay, I must have got a little bored, huh? Say okay. Let's look at Tesla. So Tesla is still breaking down 173.19. Like I said, guys, I expect this thing to come down a little bit further. These aren't buy or sell recommendations. It's just technical analysis. I love technical analysis. I love to see where it's going to take me. So it looks like we are doing very well still in ON, holding that, retesting that trend line. It came back down to retest, testing it, looking very, very good. It looks like it wants to head to the north side. At least I hope it does. I hope it wants to head to the north side, because if not, you know, I'm going to have to get out of this thing for break even. That would be silly. Airbnb still breaking down. DraftKings, it looks like DraftKings is breaking down. Don't like the look of that. Lulu still just kind of lingering around here in this area. Broke that 10-day moving average. GFS, yuck. HUBS, this was a very interesting one for me. It still is very interesting. Let's get rid of this news. On the daily, it formed this beautiful pennant and broke out above it. I did not get a part of that. I was actually in this stock here when it was squatting down tight, and it stopped me out right here. and then proceeded to trade sideways and breakout. And I was not there for that second breakout, which is a-okay, part of trading. All right, just running through some stuff, guys. Just running through some stuff. Check it out. EXTR, this looks really interesting the way it's broke down here. Made a new pump, and then it's getting really, really tight. See this? Getting really, really tight in this area. It makes me think that it's gonna want to try to break out. It might break out from this area. That'd be really cool if it could. All right, here we go. ON. It looks like Roblox. We're out of that trade. ON does look like it's doing its thing. You know, I think I'm just gonna add into this. We're gonna go ahead and try and add into ON. We're gonna see if this is going to be good for us, and then we're going to set this stop for below the 10-day moving average. We'll see if that gets us in there. Let's see how Tesla's doing. Uncle Tesla's still breaking down, 172.17. Like I said, guys, 170 is where I was expecting. We'll see if it wants to keep doing that. All right, now we just got a little bit more on ON. DRMA, looks like it's finally breaking down. It found some resistance back there. I drew out this resistance, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But it looks like it's breaking down pretty dang quick now. Let's look at NUGT, because I haven't looked at that in a while, which is gold. This is your gold ETF. I tried to short this before, and it just did not do well for me. Tesla's breaking down quicker now, 171.66. Let's take a look at NVDA. Let's see how that's doing. NVIDIA's breaking down while ON looks like it, well, maybe it's not. Yeah, if NVIDIA, our leader, is going to break down, then so is ON. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. We shall see. NVIDIA finally breaking that 10-day moving average. And this is why I don't like to add into my trades, because now instead of having just those measly 25 shares that I've held for so long, now I've added that. Okay, I've added those shares. And if it were to break down, I would weasel out of this thing really quick, you know? All right, so good old Roblox. Good old Roblox, you know? This stupid stock. This stupid stock. I think this is more like fighting it. I'm like revenge trading, so this will be my last try on Roblox. I really think it's gonna fail here, so we will see. We shall see. All right, ON, it looks like it was a decent add there. Let's go ahead and look at the other stocks here. So we got Tesla still breaking down, 171.72 here. ON looks like it's now starting to shape up, while NVIDIA breaks down, which is always a really good, maybe it's not. Let me see. Yeah, as NVIDIA breaks down, ON does look like it's starting to push up. So that's a good sign for ON. If you can have your leader breaking down, well, your ON, your lagger, in a sense, is still heading to the north side. That's a good sign. So we'll see how long that is sustainable for. If it's sustainable at all, that'd be very interesting. Apple's down 0.70%. Google's up 0.14%. Disney's down another 0.37%. The SPY's breaking down 411.70. QQQ's 324.94. IWM 172.71. The NASDAQ breaking down 13,341. Dow Jones Industrial starting to head lower. Tesla really failing here, 171.67. Netflix, 342.54. Surprisingly still holding up well in these areas. Very well. Microsoft really breaking down here as well. Looks like they're all heading right back down to those support areas. So we're going to see, will they find support? Will we get a nice little push in the after hours? We will see. Yeah, Amazon's starting to break down here. Hopefully it doesn't give back too much of those gains. Meta too, Meta failing. Yeah, NVDA is just really just ripping down to the south side. Right here's a double bottom for NVIDIA. Is it going to see a double bottom? I'm going to play this double bottom really quick. It's going to be really quick though. Like really quick. If it breaks down from this double bottom, I'm getting out almost immediately. So I'm literally going to just put my stop right below the double bottom. Now we're going to see. We're going to see if we're going to bounce off this or not. Yeah, I like these double bottoms. I've been seeing them play out quite a bit. But the thing is, you know, it doesn't look like it wants to. There we go, $13. $13 breakdown. I like playing those double bottoms though. There's been quite often I've played those double bottoms and then they just rip. You know, they rip and you take a little piece out as it goes up. But sometimes it's better just to wait and see, like wait and actually see it happen without, you know, wait and watch. You know, give yourself a little bit of time. So we'll see. Is it going to play off this double bottom or not? This ON trade that I've added into, it's still got pretty high volume comparative to previous days. I'm gonna see if it wants to hold up. All right, there's that bounce for NVIDIA. Not much of one. Sorry guys, my belly's hurting. Ooh wee. Yes sir-ree. Meta's trying to form a new higher low here, which might be its uptrend line. Let's get a peek, see? Zoom out. It's still got a little ways to go down, I think. All right, we're gonna see if this double bottom is gonna work out for us. We're reducing our share size this time. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait because we're already in a semiconductor. So what's the point of playing two? There's no point in playing two. If I want to play this, and I think this is gonna go up, if NVIDIA goes up, then I would just add into this trade. We've already added into this trade, so we're gonna see if this double bottom is gonna work. There we go. See, now I'm not losing twice the amount of money if it does go wrong. All right, does Netflix want to hold here? That would be great. I'd be okay with that. Making a couple. Oh my gosh, what the hell just happened in the market? Netflix literally just jumped up a full. What the hell just happened? Literally, Netflix just jumped up 1.14%. What's going on? Let's take a look at the market. Let's see if we can bring up some news here. Tesla's huge recall in China, Twitter's new CDO, Amazon space satellites expected to launch this summer. Today's top stories. Michigan consumer sentiment for May was 57.7 versus 63.0. Okay. Well, it looks like we got a big ramp up there, guys. A big ramp up on that news. So let's take a look at ON. Did we get any good news for that? No, not really. But yeah, that was a huge spike, guys. I don't know if you guys seen that on your end or not. Wow, huge spike. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's go. You know? Yeah, that's going to be a double bottom, isn't it? For NVIDIA. All right, let's do this, baby. AAPL looks like it's trying to do something down here. Things might actually start turning around here, guys. I don't know, something really weird just happened. I'm watching Netflix, and then it just chirped. It went from being, I was down like 20 bucks to it chirped. I was up 35 bucks in like literally a second. So it's really weird whatever happened there. I feel like yeah, I don't know. I just feel like something different just happened there, guys. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But I'm happy to see it. So it almost made it down to my 170 before that chirp happened. 170, 134. Oh, okay, that seems like an area. That seems like a good area, 170, 134. We're going to see. It might still want to get down to this 170, but we will see. All right. Oh, and we're in 50 shares now. We're up about $23 on that. Let's see how our Netflix is doing, guys. Netflix, good old Netflix. So Netflix had that huge chirp I just talked about right back up to 346.90, and then it met resistance and sold back off. So this is telling me that this is a big area of resistance, and I think what I'm just going to do is sell out of the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead and take the extra money. I have a hard time doing it. I really do have a hard time doing it. This was a beautiful trade, though. I really like the trade, but I want to just lock in the profits and then start over on Monday. So I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm just going to lock in the rest of those profits right here, right now, and boom. So we're up over $500 today on just Netflix. Over $500 today just on Netflix, okay? That's absolutely beautiful. I hate seeing this huge sell-off right here, and we're up, we're extended, and yeah, I might really be hurting myself here because I told myself don't close below the 10-day moving average, and there I go, I did it again. And that's what I mean about very, very key sell-off rules, selling rules, guys. But when I get to selling things, man, I just want to sell everything, you know, sell it all off. So just gotta keep that in mind too. All right, so we're holding ON. Things are looking good. Things are looking great. It is a little slow today, guys. Sorry that it's a little slow. You can't ask for the market. The market just gives you what he wants to give you. So, you know, that being said, wow. Alrighty. We have about an hour and 15 minutes left here, guys. Let me know what you're watching. Not a lot of crazy things moving right now. Huge sell-off for Tesla there. All right, let's run through these. We'll see how they're doing. S&P 500 just trading right on that 30-day moving average. Looks like it's forming a really tight pennant right here in this area. Is it just me, or is it forming a really, really tight pennant? Let's look at the QQQs right here. QQQ. Let's take a look at them. All right, the QQQs look like they are just trading right here at the high still, even though we had that huge pullback at 325, 22 is where it's trading right now. It is still looking absolutely amazing. All right, guys, slow day. We'll see you soon.